We have his character stare into the orb.
Too bad the orb just isn't in your possession anymore.
Here's your initiation. Please stare into this.
Stare
No.
deep into the orb.
Like we wouldn't have done that at some point in time.
Yes.
Probably.
Volith would do
I mean,
that.
Fortune's initiation is a stab. Do you survive the stab? Good, you're a friend now.
Alright, so.
Alsa's initiation is getting one shot by a bug creature.
Silence.
The music is playing.
No, it isn't.
It is on my screen. It is to me, so it takes precedence, so deal with it.
Turtle!
Our band of adventurers, the God's Headache, had recently fled the city of Underrock. After finding the remnants of the Wardens of the World Fire seemingly not worth their time or effort, they decided to head south to Ledstor, while they decided what their next plan of action would be. The journey to Ledstor was uneventful, outside of the dawning knowledge that Yalmord, the port city nearest to Ledstor, is beginning to fall. Upon arriving at Ledstor, you had uncovered that Fortune has family here. Her parents, Veledri and Arthas, I think that was it. If I remember correctly, I don't have my notes actually up here. I'll just assume that is correct and correct myself. Oh no, I was right. Valeri and Arthas, who allowed you to stay in their abode for a few days until more of you showed up and they couldn't keep as many people in there. You decided to try and reach out to the Druids of Dargril Forest, sending Valif's familiar, Akasha, out with a letter for them. While you waited for Akasha's return, you went around the city and met Madame Melody, a wizard of fairly close to Archmage level, though not part of the Wizarding Order themselves. And while that happened, Valif and Fortune stared deep into this ancient orb that they had found back in Ulmandau, and were probably comatose for a full day, seemingly by the effects of said orb. After a visit by the Archmage Kimbany, who took the orb from you, under your own request, you decided to send communications out, partially on behalf of the military, advising them of the fate of the Grasp, and with one of the last sending spells, decided to reach out to Captain Rogan, the de facto leader of the Ghosts of the Grasps, the group that was now being involved in guerrilla warfare. Despite the odds, he responded, saying that he was on his way back north. And that is where we left off. So, God's Headache, you are... Where were you roughly when you were casting the sending spell? I think you were just kind of walking through the city, weren't you?
They were going back to the Kobold Inn.
The Cobalt, not the Distant Stars?
Not the Distant Stars, because Fortune and Valeth wanted to meet the siblings.
Ah, right. So it was on the way to the Gambler's Drink.
Also, it's so nice I can see you, Tom. Hello.
Hello! I need to make sure I don't do anything stupid then on the camera. No.
Too late.
Too late.
Ah!
That is me. I better not do anything stupid. Oh wait, my face is on camera. Shit. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll say you casted this while you're on the way to the Gambler's Drink. So you're kind of in the middle of the city after hearing Rogan is making his way back north.
Do you relay this information, Valeth?
Sorry. Yes. I was my risk of rain game is at like 90 minutes. I'm just like I would like to die at some point maybe, but I'm also this is fun.
Please
Okay,
kill
so,
me. Where's the
that's
obelisk to kill myself?
Yes, I relay the information that we got.
Well, Captain here is sure to be a little upset that I lied to him. Is it really a lie if it was a promise to someone else to not tell anyone?
Yes, it's still a lie.
I think it's justified, right?
No,
Is it a lie? Is it a lie? If
but I'm
you
proud of you.
believe it?
Don't talk to me. All right, that's good. Do you still have more words on the spell? I don't know if he used all his words. If it's Valeth, I'm guessing that he used them all.
I think he's got one more cast of it, I think.
Let me just see what it actually says.
Because I was going to say, we could ask him specifically where he's going, if that's the case.
Because I know he used one for... Oh, yeah, was that before he was unconscious or after he was
That was
unconscious?
before. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
when
did
he
I get
relayed
my
it.
spell slots back?
Technically, I'll say yes in this case.
That was an extra long
Because even then, you know, you would have had a short rest in between that anyhow, and warlocks only need short rest to get their spell slots
Yeah,
back.
like exactly. It's not like I really needed a lot.
Yeah, like you haven't had a long rest, so keep in mind you are still at 1 HP, unless outside of any that have been healed back to you. I think you got healed.
I healed you for 45 hit points.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, so you're at 46 health.
No, it's Fortune who.
I'm at 3
is
HP
insane.
because of Goodberry.
There we go. I was confused there. I was like, wait, one of you was like dangerously low on health. Which one was it? But I would say in the duration it's been. I mean, you're in a city. You're just kind of casually going around. I'd say that you at one point probably did a short rest.
No.
Why is this being so weird?
I'm surprised that doesn't count as a long rest. Is it because they took that damage while they were in their coma?
Yeah, like we didn't have the time. Yeah,
Okay,
like while
okay,
we
yeah.
weren't
While
resting
their
during that time, we were, like,
while
not
their
that
bodies were
conscious.
resting, their souls were getting fucking wrecks in the orb.
Okay,
Is the
okay,
easiest
that
way to
makes
summarize it.
Yeah.
I don't know why Karmora
Alright.
is being so weird to me right now. It's like no one is in either of the games.
We're all
We're
in.
all here.
Yeah, but like I'll go in and then
I'm right
let me
here.
Try it again.
Do it now.
We try it again. There's everybody.
There we go.
Even Ed, for some reason. But he's
Yeah,
probably just been here for.
Yeah, I think it's
A
doing
week.
that thing it did before.
Yeah, he's always there. Okay, why is there a turtle?
Yeah, if you have another spell slot, we can ask them where specifically they're going, and then we can
Yes. So the
go there.
you'd like to me to ask where Captain, what's his name?
Rogan.
Where's my
Rogan.
notebook? Captain Rogan.
He's in
Yes,
my
of
notes.
course. Yeah, so I will, I guess I'll get the word counter out.
I'm doing the Travis thing whenever Laura uses sending.
Yeah, he actually does such a good job at it.
Oh yeah, no, he is really good at that. He just, yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
He's wiggling his fingers menacingly.
I mean, that face is pretty menacing.
God, I can't wait to have that in the video so I can screenshot it and make it my icon.
It's like Nicolas Cage in Face Off, where he's like looking, he just does that big smile.
Oh my god.
You are wonderful for character drawing references, Tom.
Thanks.
So expressive. So many faces.
Well, I better just make sure for future that I'm just.
Okay. I'm guessing that Vise is trying to figure out how many words he's using.
How to. He's trying to
I'm
get a
just-
message in
I'm
25
just
words.
artificially making it longer for fun. Yeah, so it's only 22, but yeah, so I send off a message. And before I send this, all we really want to know is where he is, right?
Yeah. And like where he's going.
Sure. No.
Man, Tom, you're so pale.
Oh no, that's just the lighting. That is. I'll try and fix it, but I know that my camera is a bit of a shithead when it comes to that. Yeah, because I got it on auto, and it's for some reason it's like, what happens if I do that? Nope. Okay, I'll just take off.
Did the golden saucer reset yet?
No.
Oh,
You mean the
nice.
weekly stuff? The weekly stuff hasn't, but the dailies have.
Yeah, so I sent off a message. Hello again, Captain Rogan. I'm glad you are not dead. We would like to know where you are, please. Thank you.
All right. There's a bit of a pause before you hear Rogan speak again. We're in a forest about a day from Lesdor. Kind of stuck here. We got sick and wounded. And yes, I'm alive.
Wait. Did he say he's in a forest?
East
Yes, he
of
says,
Lesdor.
He's in a forest just south of Lesdor. That's what he said.
East.
East of Lesdor.
Okay. Oh my god.
To the Druid Forest. Right.
I would have to assume.
No, the Druid's Forest is to
wait.
the west. Southwest.
No, no.
Okay. Okay.
So
We have a map.
it would be the other way by like the path to Galaro.
Yes. Keep in mind
Yes.
that the map doesn't show like really small forests. It's only like big ones because that would have taken way too long to make the map otherwise.
Okay.
Also, isn't the forest south of Lesdor?
No, that's what Tom is saying. Is there's this big forest, the one south is that's that forest, but
Yeah.
Essentially flip the map the other way
Oh, okay.
and then you'll have east and west. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so east is towards Lake Galaro.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Okay, so Rogan is in a forest about a day away from Lesdor, and they're stuck right now because they're wounded.
And
yeah,
none of us know how to
I
map.
think that like Valith, he just repeats what Rogan says.
Yeah,
to
that's
him
what
that he
I'm
hears in his mind.
assuming.
And then it says, so are we going to go rescue him then?
Nemesis just has like this look of determination on her face.
Yeah, I think
Let's
this is
Hearing
definitely a hero
Rogan's
moment for all of
voice.
us. We're like, we got some like dudes to rescue.
Yeah.
It's Undertale shit there. It's like hearing Rogan's voice. It fills you with determination.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so I think that and instead of the long-winded thing, I use my the second spell slot that I have to say to just respond and say, "Okay, we're coming to get you," and that's it.
You should have said that in the most menacing way you could have.
I could have, but also just
We're
the
going to find you.
yeah, just make it really. It's like it's okay, Rogan. We will find you, no matter
Yeah.
what.
There is
No
a
matter where
pause.
you are, we will find you.
I'll say that's actually what you do say because it's funnier
Oh
to
my
me.
God, yeah.
Oh no! I was.
No,
I wanted to be
you sure?
nice.
Okay, we'll go with your short one then.
Aw.
Yeah, I just want.
Aw.
Yeah, just it's like,
Fair enough.
don't worry, we're coming to get you.
Rogan just there's a pause and then you just hear Rogan say, "All right, hoot like an owl, where if you hear something weird in the forest," and that's the end of the spell.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like he told me to hoot like an owl if I heard anything weird.
In the forest.
That in the forest.
Oh,
That seems.
okay.
I mean, I could
We
turn-
still have one of their like earrings, don't we?
No, Floriana took
No.
that with
No.
her.
Wow.
Out of all the things she could have taken with her. Okay, okay. She
Nope.
left the amulet.
The bracelet of message.
She left the bracelet, a message. She left the amulet from the necromancer and the book.
It's been so long, I have no memory of these
That
things.
That is what she left.
Your mouth is full of
Okay.
pizza. I love it. Just I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Eat mouthful of pizza.
I can just imagine like them actually saying this conversation, and just all of a sudden, Nemesis turns back and just sees Fortune with a pizza in it, just eating, just like, I don't know what you're talking
Eating
about.
pizza. Yeah. It's like, what the hell is that? It's like, I don't know. I made it. It's like,
I don't know.
Alright.
You,
what you, you invented pizza
Anyway,
in your
So-
kitchen in the middle of the day.
yes. May I see it? No.
Candle.
Okay.
No.
So
Okay,
if they're
alright.
a day from here, we should probably like get going like right now.
Yeah.
Though
I
Fortune
agree.
is at Fortune, I'm guessing looks really fucked up,
She,
like exhausted and drained.
yeah, no, she visually she looks fine, but she's dragging her feet and such. You know, it's almost like she's moving like
collapsing pole as a cane.
yeah,
Lilith
it's
looks tired, but what's new?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like if like none of them got any sleep the night before, and the lack of sleep actually affects Valif in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though I think you could definitely tell he's just like more lethargic than usual,
Fortune
which
just
is probably saying something.
I'm not sure if you should even come. I'm sure that your parents are worried about you.
Is Delson in the room?
Yeah.
Delson,
Yeah.
heal me.
Nemesis gives him this look of just like, don't do it.
I
Don't do it.
I don't know if anything I can do can help with what's going on here.
Don't you have potions, Fortune?
Yes, but I'm saving those.
Well, then I think you can take care of yourself. And MC turns, and I'm gonna head to go and get Hanel from the stables.
That
Alright.
was- that was
I'm
cold.
going. Sorry, somebody came into my room at the exact moment I was saying that, but I'm going and I'm getting Knighten.
I'm gonna
Is she
yell.
just gonna stay at 3 hit points?
Fuck
Yep.
yeah, she's staying at 3 hit points. Let's
Oh
go.
my god. Clearly having not learned her lesson in the slightest.
Yep.
Volith is feeling good. He's got a healthy 46 HP. Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, when you cast Goodberry, how many Goodberries come up?
I think it's like 6.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
enough to feed a party.
Okay.
Yeah, one good berry provides enough nutrition for a person
You
for a day.
make 10 in your hand.
Oh, there we go, 10.
Oh, 10.
So technically she could
If you
eat
want,
all
you
of
could
those and get 10
gobble
hit
all
points.
10 good berries if you want.
God, she will not eat for the next week.
And that day, Fortune gained 10 pounds.
Reminds me of
They
Violet.
go
Violet.
bad after a day.
Mhm.
Their child.
Fuck.
But so like you can feed everybody every day, but like after a day you have to cast the spell again. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But also, if we ever take on prisoners, we can keep
okay,
them alive.
so
just with
technically
Goodberry.
she could eat another 8.
Yep. So give her another
what's
8
insane?
HP.
I ran a game on
Hmm.
Thursday, and
Yeah.
the barbarian in that game has the same amount of health as Valith. Except for he's level 5 and Valith's level 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can also, Anna, while we're traveling, you don't have to do anything, and you can count that as a short rest and get like a hit die back. Or you can use your hit die for it.
I know.
I'm just keeping it in mind so that, you know, Fortune doesn't retroactively kill herself.
I was planning on doing that already.
Okay.
She's just a stubborn little bitch.
Alright.
It's
So
true.
we're gonna go ahead and get our horses, get our cart and everything, because we're gonna go and
we're going to
help
rescue-
Rogan.
Some dudes.
Yeah.
Alright,
Do it.
so your journey to the Gambler's Drink stops, and you quickly turn around and start heading back towards the The
Fuck
stables.
yeah. What time of day is it? I think it's like around noon because
It
that's
is-
when
yeah,
Bella
that's-
Fortune.
It's around mid-afternoon.
It's when we
Okay.
knocked ourselves out the first time.
Yep.
And
It's
with
weird to
this,
just
I can use
it's
as
weird
many
to
as
just
I
have
need.
like a full day missing.
Yeah, we all have our little curfew permits.
Yep.
Which I give to Lilith and not Fortune.
She's the only one who really needs it.
Right?
Yep.
Volith can at least talk his way through situations, even though he doesn't.
Hmm.
He's capable of talking his way out of things, but doing it is another thing.
And at the same time, the military crier did basically say,
If you break the rules, talking your way out of it is still hard.
Yeah, it's like, you break the
Okay.
rules, you're coming in chains, basically.
Alright, so we get all our stuff, we get ready to go. I'm guessing that we're gonna strap Hanel and Knighton, I guess, to the cart. Because Fortune can't ride and rest at the same time. She has to be, like, in the cart.
Yeah, she would have to be resting in the car.
Yeah, alright.
I take out. Does she have a blanket? I don't think she actually has that.
If she has, like, an explorer's pack or something, she should have bedding.
She has the burglar's pack.
I'm not sure what that carries because I don't play a rogue.
I don't remember. She's just going to sleep.
Burglar's pack.
Contains 100 ball bearings, string...
1,000 ball
candle-
bearings.
Oh, it says 100 on
Wow.
on this thing.
Oh.
Oh, you have -1 Constitution.
In
Fucking
the
Fortune.
compendium, it says 1,000.
That's what I'm looking at, though. I'm looking at the compendium.
Okay, that's weird.
Big 1,000 ball bearings.
It's
But yeah, you don't have bedding.
you just
You
got
have 50 feet of hemp rope, tinder box, water skin, 5-day rations, 2 flasks of oil, a hooded lantern, 10
Oh,
One of
pigeons,
those,
a hammer,
you
a
literally didn't get
crowbar.
any health back. That's amazing.
wow.
That's
She's
what you
so
get for
weak,
having a
dude.
negative
How is Fortune so weak?
Negative 1 to her constitution.
Which is like the
Oh, there's
stat.
another
Like, no one would do that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So good. Actually,
Okay,
you've used all 8 of them already, Anna.
8. Well,
Or wait, you have 9.
9.
So yeah,
that's the last one.
So that's 10. That's 16. 16 health out of 8 hit dice, or 9 hit dice.
That's an average of 2 per hit dice. And she rolls a T8.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Okay,
What does this
Wow.
like? What does this look like? What is the worst band? What is the worst like? You spend like however long. I'm sure it's going to take us longer than an hour to get there. So while we're traveling,
She's having a nap, but the fact of the matter is that you're going over rough terrain.
yeah.
It's,
you just keep hitting your head and stuff.
it's,
Yeah.
And don't forget, I believe it's... Oh, no, they swapped the car for a smaller one. But yeah, it's like, it's rough terrain, and you realise this cart is meant to be like transport within the city, like carrying stuff to and from the city, not outdoor going, so it is
Okay.
very uncomfortable.
So,
Wait, is Milo tied to the back of the cart again?
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
oh my god. Okay.
a
So,
It's
Wow.
important. Thank you.
okay. Good job.
Yes.
How much is a regular health potion?
50
2d4
gold
plus
for the
2.
bait. Oh, yeah. Oh, in rolling? Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. Oh, you mean the lesser ones, right?
Yeah.
The lesser ones, yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Well, I have a potion of healing and I have a potion of greater healing.
Oh,
I believe the greater is 44 plus.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, let me just pick.
And then the superior is 64 plus 6.
Fortune has to admit defeat and take a potion. Her girlfriend is mad at her and won't talk to her.
Greater healing is 44 plus 4. And, yeah. Oh, what? I'm sorry, did Will Wheaton just, like, hug you with his
Touch all your
spirit?
dice.
Did the Will Wheaton poltergeist just touch,
Oh
like,
my
your
God.
computer?
I don't know.
Did
It's
Will
really
Wheaton
funny. I
touch
was
your
watching
computer?
episode 5 the other day, and Laura
If
comes
it makes
in
you
and
feel
she
any
was
better, you
like,
can't
"I
actually
was just
die
talking to Will Wheaton,"
the
and then
first
she rolls
time,
that
so
one.
that's good.
I know I can't actually die the first time.
No matter how weak you are, you got one. You got one.
Wow.
But after that, it's all on you.
All
Okay.
right then.
I
So-
need someone to make a either perception or survival check.
Well, I'm driving the carriage, so
No, that's
that's
okay.
my job.
Child, survive.
Survive for us.
This is to see if you can find said forest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dirt
it's
Child.
Dirt Child. His main skill. Do I have to roll animal handling because Knighton is a normal horse?
I would say yes with advantage.
Okay, because Hanel. Yep.
Because Hanel, yeah. Well, it's a good
Wow,
thing that
I'm
you
really
had
glad.
advantage. Because that was a
You
nat
suck
one.
today.
This is a start. This is a start of the session. Thankfully, you have a horse which can understand you, and a well-trained horse also assisting, so it's not that difficult. With a survival of 13. Okay, so I just want to check.
Roll perception.
Yeah. Are you going to be traveling through the night? Just to check.
That's a good question. I don't have any lay on hands. And Fortune is apparently really fucked up right now.
I can. If we'd like, if everybody can, actually, yeah. How do we have this? Like, how can we travel during the night with everybody trying to sleep, with the exception of Valit?
No, the terrain is too rough.
Too rough. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm riding up.
Yeah, and you're riding a horse and stuff like that too. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Help.
There's not enough room in the cart for all of you. Remember,
And
it was a smaller one. Yeah.
Okay, how long could we push ourselves until we're on the verge of exhaustion?
So I would say, since you started off in the mid-afternoon, you've probably done about 3 or 4 hours of traveling so far. You could do another 4, but then you'll start having to roll Constitution checks for exhaustion. And then if you keep,
Can we get away with doing another 4 and then go to sleep?
you'd be
it
able
would
to, yeah.
It would be like, I guess, the middle of the night when we set up camp.
Yep. Although keep in mind that the terrain around Lesdor is purely just like flat grassland.
Okay. I think that's acceptable, right? If we just kind of push ourselves to the verge of exhaustion to get like the max amount of stuff that we can get out of it.
That's true. Natural. I don't remember what Natural Explorer gives you in this sort of stuff. But...
It gives him advantage on it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh god, I'm actually now
Essentially, I'm pretty sure he ignores rough
Yeah,
terrain
ignore
on it,
difficult terrain. Yeah.
and he gets advantage on checks involving it.
Yeah.
Yep. He can find twice as much food.
Yep.
Yep. He can like learn more information about that.
So if you
Doesn't do anything for that. Okay.
if your favorite terrain, okay, so your favorite terrain is forest and grasslands. Does this count as a grassland?
Yes, it is grassland.
Yeah, it's forest.
Then
and it's
technically,
both
doesn't
of these.
he get? So doesn't he get?
Yeah, he would get
advantage
advantage
survival?
on that survival check.
Yeah.
Yep, he can roll a survival again if he wants.
Okay.
20. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
yes. All right. Look, see, rangers are useful.
Is it that still remembering that time Liam and Travis tried to weaponize Will Wheaton's curse?
They just had him like go in and touch all that stuff, didn't they? Is that what it was?
Okay, so would that help us maybe get an extra hour in?
it would get you a bit further in, but it is better traversing of the terrain. It is not slowing down time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you would still hit the limit of your
Shadow's here.
exhaustion.
What?
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
He's gonna appear in the chat soon, yeah. But
Yep.
yes, okay, that is perfectly acceptable. I was just trying to see how far we could get along. So we'll go ahead and go to like the verge of exhaustion, get a few more hours in, and then I guess we'll set up camp.
Yeah, so you're able to eke out a couple more, a little bit more distance, thanks to that. But if that's the case, if we're traveling through the night, I need somebody to make a perception check to keep an eye on their surroundings, as it is now pitch black outside of the stars. And
So anyone who doesn't have dark vision, go away.
Let's make Fortune do it.
Yeah, Fortune.
Y'all want me to try and make a perception check?
Yup.
She's so wise, right?
Oh, hey, it actually
Look at
worked. Okay.
Hey.
Trust.
Spent so much in towns I forgot my own skills.
all right.
That's accurate. We spend a lot of time in towns and not like actually
Yay.
in the forest and stuff.
Here comes a general.
And here is Shadow.
Yay.
Okay. So what do we get with that perception check?
Okay, so you are able to, with Gratian and Fortune working together, you're able to traverse the more bumpier parts of the terrain. In addition, you, Fortune, you hear the occasional sound of more nocturnal animals like wolves and such, and with being able to kind of like ascertain where it is, you're able to navigate away from where the wolves appear to be. Eventually, you push yourself as hard as you can. It's approaching around 2 a.m. at this point. So you can keep going and start risking exhaustion, or you can stop and camp.
Yeah, we're gonna use the forced march rules. The forced march stuff, where for every hour after 8 hours of travel, we have
Yes.
to make a save.
Yes.
Nice.
I was about to say we could just camp.
I
With
think
the perception, did I find any place that looks decent enough?
You find a few areas where like the grassland dips down, but it's like maybe you could like go down into one of these like small, almost like ditches, but the horses and the cart wouldn't.
okay. I mean, I think that's acceptable just because of Fortune and Valeth's situation right now. Especially Fortune, who might get killed.
I'll always
I think-
correct at least 1 HP for the first time.
I think we should
It's
Go
true. You
ahead
could
and
kill
just
it right now
settle.
and nothing would happen.
don't tempt me. I think we can settle down for the night at the very least.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, we're not going to be any use to them if we're, exhausted to shit. Oh, really? Nem's Angie, you don't say? Alright. So we're going to go ahead and just make camp for the night.
All right. Okay. If that's the case, who's taking watch, or are you taking watch?
I'll take first watch.
I'll help everybody who wants to take watch, because I'm bad at it, but I can help.
Yeah.
Alright, then Delson and Valeth are going to take first watch.
We just lost a child, and now he's back.
Yep.
Okay. If that's the case, make your perception check.
Do I get the advantage?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so perception. Doesn't matter.
Wow. Wow.
Oh god, I think I
Okay.
cursed
Oh
myself.
God, Nelson,
I cursed myself by mentioning you should not be named.
you did it. You brought him in this circle.
It's my fault.
You've cursed us all.
Okay.
Damn you.
So for the first
No.
part of your watch, you kind of the even though you didn't bring yourself to exhaustion, just the fact that you pushed it makes you tired and unfocused, and you end up falling asleep. Valif, you are while you were helping Delson, you get a little bit distracted in your
I
stone
just
work.
zone out a lot. It's
Yeah, you saw like as you just as it saw like when it looks like Delson is like especially looking around, you kind of take out your stonework and you begin working through on it, and you kind of like get in the zone as you're working on it. And when you look up, you can see you're the only one awake.
Oh, Delson. Delson. I give him a jostle.
I'm
Delson.
awake.
You were asleep. Were you being attacked in your dreams again?
No.
That's good. Aren't you supposed to be on watch?
I am.
Well, it just doesn't say anything. Would you like me to make you some coffee?
That would be helpful.
I'll go and make him some coffee, ration coffee or whatever.
Okay. Who's taking the second watch then?
I will.
All right. Go ahead and make that perception check then with advantage since Valif is helping.
Yep. Okay. Advantage. Perception.
18.
Oh,
Nice.
hey.
So you kind of just settle in for the next part of the watch and you just keep an eye out. One of the advantages, being the fact that you have dark vision and the fact that this is very flat, is that you can usually see... You can see a lot better in the distance than you would in a normal terrain. And as you're kind of like looking around, you look back towards the cart, and you can see something sort of scattered on the top part of the cart itself.
Okay, so can I see, like, if it's moving?
It's not moving. It's
not
like
moving?
it's like almost like a dust of sorts that's on top of the cart that wasn't there before.
I'm gonna... You know, if it looks like dust, I don't see any reason to be cautious, even though I think that I should be cautious. I'll go ahead and go over to, like, examine it and just make sure everything's fine.
All right, so you go to the cart and you kind of look over, like you look at the dust, kind of like swipe it by, and now you're this close, you can kind of see that it's a bit of a trail going a bit further into the cart and away from the cart. And as you just follow it in the cart, you can see something appeared to, probably during the first watch, snuck up to the cart and ripped open one of the bags of horse feed. And
for fuck's sake.
once
Okay.
it had its fill, it looks like it had left. So mark off that one less bag of horse feed.
Of
Damn.
course. Alright.
Damn ghost horses.
You can make a survival check to see what it might have been.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
All right, just a straight up survival check.
Obviously ghost
No.
horse.
You have no idea. All you know is that it had teeth, because that's the only way it could have bitten into the bag.
Delphin.
You also see some of the apples have sort of been thrown about. You don't know if some of them have been taken or if they've just fallen out when the feed bag was moved by whatever bit into it.
I'm guessing that you two weren't paying attention. As I gesture over to Valeth.
Delson at this point is back asleep.
Yeah, I figured that Delson
Yeah.
is asleep, but Valeth is with me, so.
Well, I did see Delson sleeping at one point, so perhaps
Oh.
it happened during that.
Lovely.
Yes.
It was only horse feed, which we actually have to use now because Knighton is here.
Yep.
He's actually a real
Yep.
horse. Also, Milo needs
Milo.
to eat, too. Thanks for including
Yeah.
him. But,
Okay, well, Milo's like your job.
Hashtag
well,
Milo
that's-
is real too.
That's true. Yeah, so...
You mean he isn't just a figment of our imagination?
Hashtag Milo is an
all of you are
unquiet himself.
figments of Olive's imagination, as far as
How
he's
do we
concerned.
know? How do you know Niden didn't get into the feed for a midnight snack?
Because he's strapped up, and Hanel would have told me.
Oh no, he's neither
Actually-
neither of them are strapped up. They are both just kind of over to one side.
Hanel,
Yes.
did you see what got into this?
Got into what?
The cart with the feed? Did you see anything around?
Just gonna roll a perception
Come on,
check
come
for
on,
him.
come
Preempt one. I believe so. It might have been. It had 4 legs. That much I'm certain.
Alright.
That's about all I saw.
That's it?
I can't see in the dark like you, Nemesis.
Did it make any noises?
Oh yes, of course it did. It made some low guttural growling noise.
I would have to assume that it's a wolf of some sort, maybe? I
Maybe.
don't know why they would get the horse feed and not eat you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because, and you just see him tilt his head slightly, and even though they're a little bit away, they're still close to the party.
Fair enough. Maybe I should get you some sort of glowing collar so that you could see better.
I think that would just make them see me better.
I'll think about it.
I hope you think against the idea.
For now, if you see anything else, please tell me.
With respect, Nemesis, even though I am not exactly a horse, I still need my sleep as well.
Yes, but you saw it during the first watch while you were still awake. Therefore, if you are awake and you see something, you'll tell me, won't you?
You see, the last time I tried to do that, you slept through it.
Shh, I'll pat Hanel on the head. Don't argue with me.
Very well, but if my call to rouse you does not wake you up, then it's not my fault.
Then I accept full responsibility. Good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah. You get the
So
feeling
funny.
that this is probably how Nemesis was spoken to as a child.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god, that's actually horrible.
Alright, then I'll go ahead and head back to Poor Hanel. Nemesis just this is normal, right?
Alright, Hanel does go to sleep at this point, but... Okay, who takes the third watch then?
Me.
Okay, perception check with advantage.
Hanel killed a rabbit.
Yeah, remember, you told him to
Kill
attack
anything
anything.
that goes near you.
And he killed a rabbit. A
It
6.
came near me. It's god damn it, Hanel.
What is your guys' luck today?
We're bad.
So, Fortune, you wake up and take part in your watch. At this point, Valif, you, again, unfortunately, zone out and just focus on your stonework. Fortune, you also get a little bit kind of bored and zone out yourself. You just kind of watch it.
Stars.
You're just kind of watching the sky go from its, inky black to a slight grey to red as the sun rises. And then it becomes apparent as everyone starts waking up that that is all your shift has been, just watching the sun rise.
Could be worse. We're not dead.
Yet.
Do.
Shush.
Alright. So I guess we're all getting up and seeing a Fortune admire the
Staring
sky.
directly at the sun.
Yep.
Like, Fortune, don't do that. That's really off-putting. It's like, it doesn't hurt me. It's like, why? That's weird. Fucking weird tieflings.
Alright. So, you all wake up and resaddle and resuit up the horses.
Before we go,
Mm-hmm.
after a long amount of time, guess what time it is?
Speech.
It's time for a speech.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't had one in months.
It's really, yeah, we haven't had one in a while. So-
Speech.
Every time I do these, I have like something in mind before I say it, and then it goes out the window because of how nervous I am.
Stage rides.
I mean, yeah, I have crippling stage fright. Alright, so for one, because all of you are here and there are people who are not here, you get the privilege of getting the extra hit points.
Yeah.
And I will basically say, it's been a long time coming. We've had to spread these rumors about the ghosts and everything of the grass. And now we are going to assist them in returning home. And hopefully that all goes well. Nemesis, not very inspiring leader.
It is your choice if you believe that that was an inspiring speech for you all.
I'll take
Listen,
it.
as long as we all just stay together and don't do anything stupid, and she looks at Fortune.
Pretty solid.
We have encountered worse things. We fought dragons before, so we can definitely handle escorting people through the woods.
It depends on which spirit you're going through, and we have confirmation that Shadow was knocked out trying to cross the border.
Alright, so yes, it is up to you fully if you were inspired by that speech.
How many temporary hit points do we get?
10, I think?
You get equal to my level plus my charisma modifier.
That's where I was missing it.
Means you get 13.
Nice.
That was the most inspiring speech I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'll take it.
So I just need to count and make sure how many people are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can give it to someone else, and I will go ahead and give it to Trostar since he'll be here in a little bit.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
As he checks the ale.
He has been checking the ale. He's kind of been very focused on the ale. Which at this point, it has mixed, and now it's just fermenting.
All right. So we will go ahead and strap in and head out.
Find ourselves some dudes.
How
and-
far are we from the forest at this point?
So you've been traveling for you had spent pretty much the remainder of yesterday and quite a bit into the night traveling. I would
You
say
said we were traveling for about 4 hours and then another 4 hours.
it was
so
about
had-
8 hours worth of travel, yeah.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that when someone says a day of travel, they're not saying like 24 hours of travel kind of deal, because that doesn't exist in the fantasy world, only the modern world,
I realize this. I'm just guesstimating.
with trains, planes, and automobiles. It probably take you about another 8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10 hours early morning, so we'll probably get there by mid-afternoonish.
Give or take, yeah.
All right. Then let's keep going. Can we? I know that we were going at like a normal pace before. Can we push the horses a little bit?
You can push them to do an extra hour's worth of travel,
Okay.
but trying to do that multiple times will cause them to start taking exhaustion.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and do.
And we're
At the
worse
very
at
least
noticing things
here.
too. What if we're moving at a fast pace?
Yeah,
It's like-
you will have
Yeah.
disadvantage on your perception checks if you are.
Yeah.
So. All right. So what do you guys want to do if that's the case?
No, I think that we should do that. We could
We
spend
should
this day to actually like hustle.
Okay. So. All right. Then if that's the case, does it also lower my animal?
No, that doesn't affect the animal handling. The only thing it'll affect is perception checks.
Okay. Then I guess we'll go ahead and make our normal rolls, and then whoever rolls perception does it with disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay.
Natural 20. Okay.
Cool.
Easy enough, as I say. The Knighton isn't a well-trained horse. It's not just some wild horse that's been broken in. This is one that was born to owners and trained up. So it's fairly easy, and obviously Hanel being Hanel.
Yeah. All right. So then.
So
have
you
survival.
push the you push the horse as hard as you can for the first hour of travel. Those of you in the car, it is super uncomfortable. It's like you know when you're in a shopping cart and it's over like the really bumpy ground, and like the entire thing's rattling and shaking and it's super uncomfortable.
Valith is just levitating and like holding onto a rope.
Yeah.
So he doesn't.
Yeah, but the vibration
the whole cart is just like.
the whole cart, but it's also like going up the rope and sort of
Yeah, and
getting
it
your
like
arm
tugs
bit.
at it. Sometimes it's loose, and sometimes it's it's.
Well, no,
taut,
like just the overall vibration of it's like going up the rope to your arm a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Again, it's like when you roll a shopping cart over like a really
Reminds me
bumpy bit of terrain.
being,
Yep.
like 10 years old and going to the launch of Wrath of the Lich King, and I just put myself in a shopping cart while my parents went to go and get Wrath,
Yep.
and I slept in there the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, it is super uncomfortable. So who wants to make the perception check with disadvantage?
Dirt
One
child
thing not-
activate.
Yeah, it's up to you three because
I
me
play
and Dirt Child have our
in
job.
defensive mode.
Okay.
Dirt Child has survival.
Yeah, Dirt Child
yeah.
needs to do the survival check to try and to navigate the area, basically.
Okay.
I'm already rolling bad. I'll do perception.
Do
Oh,
it.
God.
But I would say because of the fast riding as well, that it would be disadvantage on survival. But because he has advantage on survival by default due to natural terrain, it's a straight roll, and that's still a high roll. Okay. It's a good thing that you rolled a 10 there, and not lower. You narrowly avoid just having the one of the wheels fall into like a steep like dip in the grass, and as you kind of like watch it go by, you kind of realize that would have done some real damage to the car.
Oh,
Yay.
we almost hit a Michigan pothole.
Basically, yeah.
If you've ever been to Michigan, oh my god.
I have friends in
bad.
Michigan, but it's like you just look at it, it's like the dip itself would go up to about a quarter of the wheel. So
God.
the
Yeah.
impact of that would have potentially broken the wheel. So thankfully, you rolled just above that.
I turn to look at everybody else. You know, somebody should really fill that hole.
Why is the lens of those sunglasses on the nostril?
I have no idea.
All right.
It's
So.
funnier. I don't know.
So you push the horses for the first hour, covering double the distance you normally would, which would bring your overall travel time to around 8 hours.
Okay.
So for the rest of it, it is just the regular pace. You can see even though both Knighton and Henel are, well, I mean Henel being a conjured creature, but they're both fairly stout in terms of horses. You can see they're swaying a little bit from having to pull all this through, which is when you stop them going full tilt and begin to just keep
I'll
going.
lean over and just like pet them a little bit. Good job. And Emma see the horse girl.
There is no response from Henel. You don't know if he's angry or if he's just too tired to speak.
It's okay. I'll give him some of the apples that Dilson has later.
All right. So, which I assume the bag of horse feed that was done in by something has been thrown out or something.
Yes, I removed it.
All right.
We'll
So-
never know what did it.
So you continue traveling onwards. Oh, it's actually not advantage, it's double efficiency.
Yeah.
Roll again then, Gratian. The forced march forcing disadvantage.
Wait, what does double proficiency do?
No, well, it's
You got
he
your
just
proficiency
gets
bonus.
instead of +4, he gets +8.
Yeah.
So instead of
But
that
he has a
6,
+6
it's
in survival.
yeah. So he has a
12.
+10 instead.
Yeah. So that would be
Is
technically
10 the max?
No, it's because like 2 of that is it's
okay.
his wisdom modifier. 4
No,
of it
I
is
get what
the
you're
proficiency.
saying.
Yeah.
so it will be 10. Yeah, so go ahead and roll again then.
Yeah. So roll again there, Gratian, for
For the disadvantage of the force march. Oh well, I guess that doesn't even matter.
better.
So nothing has changed.
Yeah, okay.
So because of that very high roll, even in the face of disadvantage,
23.7.
you are able to. Thankfully, due to the navigation and such, you're able to keep going straight east. And as you get to around the 7th or 8th hour, you can see just in the distance hills starting to form, like actual large ones. But you also see sort of like nestled between them near the... Because at this distance as well, you can actually see the horizon go blue as you begin to approach the coast and Lake Gallero itself. But you can see just a little bit to your north the forest, or a forest, I should say.
Alright, so I would have to assume that this is the forest that they are in. So I guess we're gonna go start like heading in. Can we see Gallero from here?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Does it smell like burning?
Alright.
18.
Hey, we're actually rolling good now. Good job, guys.
You can't see Gallero the city, but as you squint, and keep in mind you're not at the actual coastline yet, you probably will be able to see a bit better at the coastline, but you can see just barely the what looks to be another bit of landmass.
Okay.
But it is like at the absolute extreme of your vision. The fact you rolled that high that you can only just see that far.
Fucking. So there's at the very least no smoke bellowing out of it like y'all.
No.
All right, then we'll go ahead and continue along towards the forest. Though I am thoroughly curious about the coastline. It's been a while since we've been on a coast.
Okay. So, takes you about an hour and a half to get towards the forest. Even though it's not very big, it's dense. The cart
Actually-
cannot fit through there.
I have one more question.
Yes.
When Nemesis and the others went from Underrook to Lesdor, would we have seen this place before?
The forest?
Yeah.
No. The forest in particular is more closer to... If you look on the map, you can see the path to Underrook and Lesdor. It kind of splits. You are south from that. You can see where Lake Gallero
Okay.
kind of like the landmass sort of sticks into Lake Gallero. That's
Yeah,
roughly where you guys are, so you wouldn't have seen this.
Okay. I'm actually looking at the map right now. So yeah, okay, I know where we are.
Yeah.
Alright. Then are we gonna have to leave the cart here? I think we are.
Yes, it seems so.
You can certainly try, but even with Gratian's whole, difficult terrain doesn't affect you, this is a cart. It cannot raise its legs to walk over things, and there is a lot of vegetation.
Okay. Then I say we go ahead and get off of the cart. Can we take our horses in?
You can, though it'll be a bit of a squeeze for him, especially Dio, given his antlers.
I think that would just decrease their mobility if we took them in because it's so tight.
Yeah, you don't know what the interior of the forest looks like, but at least
How
the outer...
nearby can you communicate with Hanel?
I think it can
A mile.
communicate up to 100 feet.
A mile.
A mile?
I think it's a mile.
That's not very far.
I can check real quick.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
So, 1 mile
Just
each
take
other,
a vote.
yeah. Alright. Well, we can tell them just to stay here and essentially if they see any hostile creatures to fight them off. I can't guarantee if that'll work for Knighton because Knighton is a horse and we have a history of killing them. But
Just don't
if
forget
Fennel
that
dies, I can just resummon
Bunny
him.
is not trying to kill them.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and leave them here. I feel bad for Milo, though.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's completely fine.
Well...
And plus he needs to watch the ale, right, Trotner?
Hey. Been looking at this thing too long for it to be fucked up now.
So is the ale on Milo right now?
I assume
Yes.
that's what you've been doing
That's
this
where
entire
it's
time.
stored mostly.
Poor
He's
baby.
a very
Okay.
good dog.
Just because we're essentially leaving the horses to their own devices here, I'm going to go ahead and take the keg off of Milo and just kind of set it down
Sure.
so that if something does happen,
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, and then
that's
I'll
a good call.
use the rope to strap Milo and Knighton
If I wanted to,
to the cart.
As you're doing this, Hanel speaks up. Can you tie the rope high up on the cart?
Yes, of course. I'll go ahead and do that just because, I don't want them wandering off, but at the same time, I don't want them to just kind of be stuck.
Yeah. And when you do this, you see Hanel, kind of walk up to it. Dorian also seems to follow behind, seeming having a similar idea, and you just watch as Hanel, lunges forward, you watch his mouth opens, and it sort of, clamps around the rope. He doesn't, squeeze down on it, but he just lets go and just steps back.
This is really cute. This reminds me of when I
John.
went to Disney World and I had, a on me. Similar vibes.
You watch an elf just like look over to Diorian, and he just gives a short nod.
All right. Remember to take care of them.
If things seem bad, I'll bite the rope and we'll run.
All right, good. I mean, if Hanel does die, I can have him come back speaking common, but I'd rather he not.
All right.
Yep, and
So-
you also look out for those two as well. Got it. Or three.
First line of defense, boss man. First line of defense.
Thank you.
I think we all have PTSD from what happened to our other horses.
Yes.
Brutus and
we
Cream?
do.
Yeah, Brutus and Cream.
All right.
Miss
Well,
them.
do we
All right.
just start searching the forest then?
Well, Gratian can track, can't he?
Yeah.
So he could technically like look for their footprints.
I have some things I could do as well if we wanted to ask nature. We could ask one of the animals.
Talk to a squirrel. Hi. Okay.
But let's try. I feel
Yeah.
like Gratian would be more competent than a squirrel.
All right.
A squirrel.
Gratian, this is like your episode, your
Hey.
time to shine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make that survival check, buddy.
It's like a bloodhound. We have a leash on him and everything.
15. Okay.
You get advantage
And
because
no,
we're in
he
a
doesn't
forest.
get advantage. He
gets
the
double
double
proficiency.
Oh, he gets double proficiency.
So
plus
that
4.
would
Yeah, yeah,
be 19, yeah. 19 total. Jeez. All right. So you all begin to head into the forest. It is rather dense as you go through. There is a lot of vegetation. There is very, very few game paths on here. It is all just kind of like rough wilderness. Thankfully, being a ranger, Gratian's able to help you traverse it without any real loss of speed. About half an hour in, Gratian, you spot some tracks. Rather old tracks, but as you kind of examine them, they're not animal footprints. They appear to be human. But, as I say, they are very old.
Very old tracks.
Yeah, like, they're maybe a week or so old.
Interesting.
Have they been here for a week? Is that why they're stuck?
You don't know?
I guess we can follow them.
Alright.
I mean, yeah, we're close by.
If you would like, I could ask the captain for a landmark. Something that he knows is here, that they're nearby. I guess I'll do that then. Nobody really responded to me, but
Well, I was wondering what Gratian was gonna do with the tracks. But yeah, we can go ahead and do that. As Valeth tries to extend the message as much as he can.
no, I think
Yeah,
I just
we can keep following them while he's doing
Yep.
them. Yeah.
exactly.
All right. We'll keep moving, and Valeth will go ahead and send a message. Is it a message or is it sending?
Sending.
Sending.
Sending. Okay.
Alright. So you continue to follow the tracks. And it's a little difficult because the tracks keep seemingly vanishing and reappearing. almost like the full amount of movement that whoever's done this hasn't just been completely on the ground. And I'll say with the 19's valve check, you do see like the occasional scrape on some of the barks of the trees. Almost like when the terrain's gotten a bit too difficult, they just resorted to climbing.
Interesting. So, as we're walking, hello again, Captain. We're in the forest now. Is there any landmarks near you? We found tracks, but they're too old to be yours.
If you want to try climbing a tree, Gratian, go ahead and make either an athletics or acrobatics check. Valith, there's a pause for 20 minutes, and you just hear him say, "Look, Valith, we're in a forest. It's just trees as far as I can see. I'm sorry, but that's the best. Just listen for weird noises."
Yeah,
And 11,
he says there's trees around him.
Nemesis just stares at Valeth, arms crossed. It's almost like
he also told
he's in
me
a forest.
to listen, and he did mention that there would be an owl call, a hooting, a hoot hoot, hoo, you know.
Can I listen out for any strange noises?
Sure, make a perception check. Gratian, with your 11, you know when you're younger and you first try climbing a tree, but you're not comfortable with heights? Mm-hmm. That's Gratian right now, trying to climb a tree.
He gets like, does he get tree PTSD?
Kind of.
PTSD.
PTSD.
Oh my god.
You don't hear anything at the moment.
Or whatever.
But do you continue following the tracks, or do you just continue searching in the forest?
I mean, the tracks are the only thing we really have to go off of.
I assume we.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and continue with the
tracks.
tracks.
We continue following the tracks. Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Stole your thunder. All right.
I'm sorry.
So you continue following the tracks for about another 20 minutes. And suddenly the tracks stop. Or they get too faded out to sea. I want everyone to make a perception check if they could.
Okay.
Listen, them.
Hey.
We don't want to just be okay. We want to be great.
Is Anna here or is she dead?
I am here. I am just
Detective
loading.
skill kicking in.
All right.
Yeah, that
So-
tracks.
Gratian, Delson, and Valith. As you kind of just in this slight clearing, you hear a noise randomly. Not too far, but not too close either. Just hear.
That's not an owl.
That's a monkey noise.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Can I return my own owl noise?
Turns
Okay.
monkey.
Yes, for the record, that was not an owl noise you heard.
Okay.
But if you wish to make a hooting noise, then you can.
Who? And Volith just starts hooting like an owl.
Do you actually do it, or are you going the hoot?
Well, he's trying.
Make a performance
Do I
check
make
just
a
for the
check?
hell of it. Make a performance check for the hell of it.
Performance.
Yeah.
I can do that.
How well do you perform? Okay, you actually
I still
surprisingly
fight Christmas, so.
you do a surprisingly good job.
I was gonna polymorph myself into a giant owl.
And then do it.
Yep,
Oh my god. Okay.
If you want to do that, you can.
I will.
Okay. So, Valiv does a very good impression of an owl, which is unfortunately overshadowed when Delson turns into a giant owl and just does an actual owl noise.
Well, it's like his brow furrows and he looks down. Who?
I'll land by him and give him a pout. My wings.
Given the difference in size, you kind of, when someone gives you like a hard smack on the back and you sort of like lunge forward a bit, like even with Val's admittedly very large size, he's still kind of like staggers forward a bit from the hit.
Ooh.
I just give a very shocked owl look.
Ooh.
The O'Reilly owl. After all this, you just the three of you just hear nearby. There's a rustle from the trees, and you watch as a figure sort of lands in front of you. You can see that it appears to be an elf, very pale, not a drow per se, but like very very pale skin.
Like
mess.
Wow, fucking roasted. I wish I could see Jake's camera right now so
Another-
badly.
It's really funny.
Just going to add another 9th level spell slot onto that thing. And maybe another 50 HP.
It's the light. Ah!
It's my camera, trust me.
We love you,
So funny.
Tom.
So funny.
It's my camera and the fact that I am facing the side where the sun would normally come in. And my camera's auto adjust is really shitty because it wants me to be even brighter than this. I need a new camera. Anyway,
We love you.
you can see that he's got slightly like ragged leather armor, and he has a bow sort of like in his hand, which he sort of like holsters. Just gives you a nod and begins walking into the forest.
Does this guy's armor look familiar in any way?
No,
Or does he look familiar?
he does not look familiar.
I guess we should follow him.
I mean, I guess so, yeah. Then we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. This elf is going at quite a pace. Do you sneak?
Okay.
If you want to sneak, you can. But keep in mind
I
that
mean, do
sneaking
we have
slows you
to,
down.
though?
He doesn't appear to be.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and hurry along with him. I'm not sneaking. It won't even work for me. All you hear is clink, 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 clink.
Okay, here's a very important question. Delson, are you going as an owl still, or are you going as yourself?
I will go as the owl.
Okay, it is very difficult because you are a giant owl, and this is not a very open area. But fair enough. So you make your way through, following this elf. He does stop a few times when you fall behind, but as he does, he looks quite impatient.
Wow. Big guy.
So you follow him for about another 5 minutes to a stream, and he begins to walk down the direction of the stream. You continue to follow him, and eventually he sort of like stops at another slight clearing. You can see that while the stream keeps running, it sort of widens out to sort of like a small pond almost. And as he just kind of like stands there, he sort of like raises his hand to tell you to stop.
Okay. I'm just gonna stop.
Just looks around. It's way too early for you to be putting that up, right? Suppose you can see like the area ahead of you shimmer, and you watch as several individuals sort of like fade in back into view. One of them you can see is what appears to be a young elven girl, probably no older than 14, with mousy brown hair and a spattering of freckles and such, wearing sort of like a mixture of hides and a robe. The two of them as well, you do recognize as Rogan and Vineyard. Another one is sort of like busy tinkering with something who appears to be like a dark-skinned gnome, almost like charcoal black, and another individual. Shadow, if you would please.
Yay.
Oh my god.
Hello, hello.
He's here.
So I'll describe my character. Right?
Yep, describe what the party's seeing here.
Uh, the party is seeing a. He's not rather tall, but he's larger than average, about 6 feet high. Air genasi with light blue skin and long white hair. You can see that on his body, anywhere you can see skin, he has a myriad of faded old scars. His bags and he carries a lot of tools and stuff. You see bags around him are just like filled to the brim with generally just junk, really, as far as you can tell. He doesn't look particularly old, probably a man around, upper 30s or middle 30s. He leans on a cane, which is a small white cane with runes on it. But it doesn't seem like he really needs it. He just kind of has it. Around his head, you see a sort of little chest, like a tiny, like a small lockbox, flowing around with wings and an angel halo. It seems to just fly around his head. He doesn't pay it much mind.
So as the group kind of like notices each other, you see like Rogan look up. You see he looks relatively the same. His hair's a little bit longer. His beard's a bit more bushier. The newest addition that you can see is that he has a cut that seems to still be healing from the top of his head to just above his eyebrow. And his plate mail appears to be completely gone, and all that's left is like the inner padding that's usually in plate mail. Vineyard, who was the small halfling, doesn't look like he's doing too good. You can see he's so like pale. His eyes are actually closed, but you can see like sweat or like gathered on his brow and such. His leather armor is badly cut, and you can see his right arm also has got a myriad of gashes and such on it. The dark-skinned gnome, on the other hand, appears to be mostly fine, although you can see that he's working with some metal to make... It almost looks like a splint. He's wearing...
When you say dark-skinned gnome, do you mean like Durgar-esque, or do you mean just like
Durgar dwarf. This would be...
Or like a Sneaferblin, you mean? But
Yeah.
Is it like that, or is it like they're tan?
I believe
yeah.
I believe it's the... What's it called on this? I think it's called the rock gnome subrace.
Okay, rock gnomes.
Yeah, the gnomes that more live underground kind of deal.
Yeah, the tinker gnomes.
So this gnome isn't wearing any armor. In fact, he's wearing what looks to be like rags, almost. Like his shoes themselves aren't even shoes; they're just bundle of rags wrapped around his feet. So yeah, you have met them all. They're just kind of like staring at you, waiting to see what happens.
I will drop the shape.
Yeah.
You see, I was wondering why you had a big owl with you, but I wasn't exactly wanting to ask.
I picked up some new tricks.
I've noticed.
It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well, Nemesis Fallow.
Oh,
Actually, the Thalo part's been dropped off.
Really? I see.
What's wrong with him? And I gesture over to the sickly half-elf.
No, he's a halfling.
Halfling. Okay, I'm sorry.
Just kind of looks. It's a bit of a long story. I suppose introductions to the rest of these people are in order first. That gentleman points to the elf. is Yosset. He's a mercenary. He got caught in the bad spots and helped us out in escaping alongside this fella, points to Shadow's character. This one points to the rock gnome. He is part of the bad news. He was a prisoner who we were able to break out. And this lass points over to the druid. She ain't giving us a proper name, but she calls herself Black Feline. Something about how their clan works. She's a druid. She found us here and is the reason we're alive right now.
Is she a shifter?
No, she's a druid.
No. I'm asking out of character.
Oh, no. She looks to be an elf.
She looks to be an elf. Okay.
She looks like an elf to me.
Okay.
And I will wave to the little elf. I will ask in Elvish, what clan do you hail from?
Oh my god, Dawson.
Nice.
Black Feline kind of
Gracious,
just
get in there.
suddenly kind of like goes a little bit meek. My, as in where my clan is located, or
As in the name of theirs?
can you say that again?
As in what the clan goes by.
We technically don't have a name. We are a very small clan. I was simply on a pilgrimage and found these.
Nemesis just looks annoyed at Delson's. Like, I don't know if he's trying to flirt, but with Delson, the assumption is that he is always trying to flirt and failing.
I actually put up a hand to her. Quiet.
Nemesis' face, like her eyes widen, and
Bullet.
there's just like this shift of like pure rage.
Vullet's smile just gets bigger and stupider the more that this goes on. He's
Rogan-
just enjoying it so much.
Rogan looks incredibly uninterested.
I am not even going to give that a response, and I turn to Rogan. You said there was bad news.
Yes, and it's a bit of a long story. Where to start? Well, I think it's best to start on what happened after you all left. Our raids continued. We continued to harry the hordes as much as possible. We were able to capture a few and interrogate them. Admittedly, used some methods of torture, but I have no love for these Gilgamesh hordes, so I did what was necessary. The bad news is this. We could not find the weapon. We never saw it go through the grasp, and we don't know its location.
So would you assume that it's still in the Gilgamesh hordes?
Well, that's where the good news comes in. From what we were able to gather, the reason why we haven't seen this weapon, nor have any information outside of the fact that it can obliterate the grasp, is because apparently it's too large for them to move, and requires far too much power to fire again. Not like that matters, their biggest obstacle was obliterated by it.
Alright, so they can't move it, and to use it again they would need enough power.
Which is where the worst news comes in. You may not know this, but the Gilgamesh Horde usually have a mantra that any prisoners they capture are simply food. But, as Rai, he beckons to the gnome, has shown he has been held prisoner for at least 2 months. And they also incorporated torture and questioning. The Horde are beginning to act like an actual army. If a force as big as the Hordes begin to act like an actual army, with actual organization, as opposed to just their swarm through tactics, then we are in a lot of trouble.
Doesn't that mean that there must be someone more intelligent and versed pulling the strings?
The Great Khan. That's the name they keep referring to.
Great Khan. Have we heard this before?
You heard it when you first met Rogan, but beyond that, no.
Alright.
In fact, they've also started counterintelligence, which is the reason why I'm here. We had planned a raid, a very large one, using a majority of my forces. It was meant to deal with the army that was heading towards Yalmord. But when the night of the attack came, it's almost like they knew our every move. They knew where we were, what our tactics were. And every single one we tried, they were able to counterattack. I lost all communication with all the cells. I fear that we might be the last ones. If it weren't for these mercenaries, indicates to Yosut and Shad's character, I and Vineyard and Ree wouldn't be here.
As he gets gestured to, you just see lightly waves. And then my character is inspecting your party's equipment pretty closely.
Oh.
For the most part. He doesn't seem to notice them as people, but he is looking at their stuff.
I mean, Nemesis has some very expensive plate mail, a very, very, very expensive looking warhammer. I mean, that's all that she really has on her besides lots of jewelry.
Upon Delson, you can see he has
Gun.
not a rifle
Yeah.
and an emblemized rapier.
Oh wait, you say he has a rifle?
Yeah.
Yep, slung across his back.
You see my character is not introduced his name yet, so I'll just keep saying that.
Yeah.
His eyes seem to get kind of caught on Delson's gun.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. It's not polite to stare.
Delson, who leers at women all the time.
He,
He's
my
getting-
character
yes, he's getting leered at
snaps
by-
out of it a little bit. Sorry, my bad. I just have a knack for tools and weapons, you see. And kind of want to mess with that, but I'll leave you alone for now.
Look at your name, friend.
My character does a very small flourish and bows. My name is Nilai Mihalka. I'll help you for a service. Just a small amount of money keeps me up in business, you know.
About a trade.
A trade.
And I pull out a small white crystal that is the white wind crystal that I have. That is just a thing I had. I traded it for the Celestine core and a bunch of money. And it's I have no idea what it is. So I'm
As I'm looking at this, I've seen this before.
You've seen arcane crystals before, yeah. They're not super common around Jurhan and Ansor because they normally use Celestine, But given your background, you have studied in arcane crystals. They basically can do the job as Celestine, though it takes longer, and you need a bit more of them in order for them to function at the same level.
Hmm.
Why are we trading for services?
You see Nilai smile. It's just a little bit of business. A little help can't hurt. I help
I
these
highly
fellows.
doubt that we need your assistance. And she kind of looks him over. We've done just fine.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine, but you always do better with one more. But as you can see, I've been helping them out, and he points to Rogan and the rest. I will say I'm mostly just a traveling mercenary, but these hordes have been communicating with each other and showing a lot of intelligence for, a horde of barbarians, as usual.
I would have to assume that, along with this great Khan, there are likely other people assisting them, probably people within your ranks.
Well, at the very least, within the ranks of the ghosts, though, given I get the feeling that not many of them are left, I don't think that will matter anymore.
Have you lost contact with the ghosts?
Every single one of them. We combined all the cells into this raid as an attempt to stave off the assault on Yalmord. As you can probably tell, that didn't go so well.
And then the story with the halfling.
Vineyard, he ended up fighting one of their beasts of burden. Unfortunately, while stealth is something he is very good at, a straight-up 1 versus 1 fight is not something he is incredibly skilled with, especially without allies nearby.
Sounds like someone we know.
Can I go over to the halfling and kind of inspect him to see kind of what's wrong? Is it a wound? Is it an infection?
Make a medicine check.
Okay.
4.
God damn it, then.
Black Blue Line does speak up. With the halfling, it appears to be a fever, but he has ridden out the worst of it so far. He appears to just be exhausted more than anything.
Have you tried to use healing magic on him?
I have, which is why he's in the current state that he is, but I am not very skilled in the art of healing. Though I'm a druid, I am not one that was designated as a healer.
Okay, I will heal him for 10 hit points, and I will use 5 extra hit points to neutralize diseases or poisons.
Okay, so you give him the 5 hit points. The neutralize diseases or poisons doesn't kick in because it appears that he's, as I say, like his fever's broke. He's just like in the aftermath of it.
Okay. Just making sure, because usually if people have fevers like that, they have infections.
Yeah, it doesn't appear. It doesn't appear to be a fever brought on by infection. It appears to be a fever brought on by exhaustion.
Okay.
So there was nothing neutralized.
Make sure that he doesn't have leprosy or something.
Well,
Alright.
means I don't have to try to
We all just
work on
died.
medicine.
We all die of dysentery.
Thanks, Organ Trail.
And the person who gave it to us, Shadow's character.
Alright.
Anyone else have any illnesses though?
No, just well, Rye's got a sprain, I think, on his leg, and you can see he's the gnome's still just like sort of like wrapping around this metal bit. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just
I
finish
can easily take care of that.
How long have you been here?
About 4 days.
I see then. And I'm assuming that you haven't moved because of Vineyard?
Vineyard and
Yeah.
and Rye, yeah. Yosut has been mostly being the one that has been scouting, and I need to... Eventually I will remember Shadow's character. Nilai has basically been our guard during this time. Black Feline's been our, I suppose, method of stealth.
Is there something else in this forest?
No,
Yeah.
as far as we're aware. Yeah, just the regular wild animals.
We could probably get you out now. I don't think there would be enough room on the cart, but we can switch between and walk. We can put the injured on the cart.
I can allow some of them to ride the Organ.
With respect, that will not be necessary. I will need to get to Jurahan and let the Queen's General know the situation. It's about time
Sure, Han.
Yes.
We recently sent a message ourselves there.
Did you now?
What is the captain's name from the other place?
You mean the captain in Lesdor?
Yes.
Nemarius.
Yeah.
Captain Nemarius asked us to send a message that there isn't a defense anymore in the grass.
Well, that saves me a journey.
I told him what you told me to tell people. I suppose when you arrive in Lesdor, he will not be too pleased with me, but I did what I said I would.
He kind of like leans back a bit. To be honest, with this point, I'm worried about how to go about it. I could openly say that, I could come clean and say there were survivors at the Grasp. But then, how will people think, knowing that I survived and the other survivors may have died in a arguably fruitless guerrilla campaign? There's also the idea that those that have accepted their family member's death might look to me and think to themselves, maybe my relative survived, only for their hearts to be broken once more. Or we can keep all this quiet, continue the rumor, if anything, to give them closure.
To do that, wouldn't you have to come off as dead? What about your own family?
I don't have a family anymore.
Didn't the other person say that he had like a wife?
Had.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I only have one family member, and frankly, I couldn't give a damn what they think.
And who would that be? I'm curious, so.
It's not important.
Great.
Right.
The only thing I have that's close to that would be your father, simply because of the time in training.
Wait, pardon me?
Yes, he joined the Lord's Guard about a year after I did.
He what?
How do you suppose he met your mother?
Well, Mother doesn't allow Father to speak of his family or his time elsewhere.
He kind of like chuckles at that. That sounds about right. Well, let me tell you, as a person that was in the Lord's Guard, at the same time as your father, he went through the training just as his family does. He rose up the ranks, and our paths split. I went towards overall defense, he went to personal bodyguard duty, and wound up with your mother. One thing led to another, 2 kids later, and here we are.
Ah, the birds and the bees.
She kind of shoots this air genasi mercenary who thinks that he's special, just like this look of disgust.
He sees that and he remains fairly stoic, but you might be able to see one corner of a mouth race into he's currently like hovering around.
Yeah.
Like, because Valeth brought it up and he's just like kind of lightly pestering him.
Then, do you know about my father's family, where they are?
Kind of like leans back deep in thought. Luez never talked much about his family. I'm not too sure why. I did remember he mentioned he had an older brother and a sister. A younger sister.
Did he say anything special about them?
That his brother was a slave driver, and that his sister didn't seem cut out for the military business. From what he told me, the last time I ever was able to speak to him, that seemed to be the case. She went off somewhere and married.
I see then. I suppose some information is better than none.
The older brother's the weird one, though.
Weird?
The older brother kind of just vanished.
Vanished?
Yes.
What do you mean? Like he just disappeared out of thin air?
In a matter of speaking, yes. I don't doubt that he still probably exists somewhere, but it's almost like the family disowned him.
I see then.
I knew the brother as well, but not as much. He joined at the same time as me, but different division. We were assigned to Delcross. He was assigned to Lesdor.
Okay. Peach conjures theories.
Yep.
By that logic as well, since you've thrown away your name, I assume you never spoke to your father when I asked to tell him that I was well?
I didn't have the chance to.
I might head up to Ulmandau then, pay him a little visit.
Oh, mother and father are absolutely furious about the situation. I doubt you'll have a warm welcome.
Frankly, I would prefer any welcome than what I've had to deal with.
I can certainly see why, having even a glimpse of what you've experienced. Alright. What do you want us to do with everyone here?
I will probably continue heading north. If you have relayed a message to Johan, then I will stop by Grufffield, get myself sorted out, and then, as I say, pay your father a visit. For these two, he indicates over to Ree and Vineyard, I need them back somewhere safe. So, either we continue on to Grufffield with your aid, or you take them back to Lesdor.
If we are going to be, if we're not planning on leaving, teleporting anywhere soon, then could we send them somewhere with the chalk? If we
Do
have a
we
week,
have a symbol for Grothfield?
I don't know if we have one for Grothfield.
You
but-
don't.
We don't. We only
No.
have extra.
Extra Delcross.
And Delcross. Delcross, I don't know if is much safer than.
Delcross is the fortress city that is southwest of the Grasp.
Yeah,
Which would just send them back.
yeah,
Not
like
what
it's
we
it's
want.
closer to the front than.
It is, like, right at the front. In fact, you had heard that there was an attack on Delcross already. It was
Yeah,
repelled,
that's kind of what I was.
but there
thinking.
was an
Like,
attack
it's
on Delcross.
A dangerous
Okay.
place to send them. Exeter, though.
Exeter would still be too far away. They're better off just. Okay, we should take the wounded to Lesdor, and if they want to continue on to Grothfield, then they should, because we don't have any way to get them there faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far away is Grothfield?
Well, if you look on the handy-dandy map, it would be probably 4 days to a week's worth of travel.
See, I don't know if I like the idea of Rogan going alone. I mean, I guess that he'd have everyone who wasn't injured with him. Along with the fact that there's probably more armies and stuff heading this way.
Mhm.
So he'd probably meet up with them, right? Like, it would be fine.
You can always ask him. Because I know this is Peach talking, not Nem talking.
Yes, I'm just...
So, I'm just saying, you could always ask him.
Do you think that you would be okay on your own?
I still have my sword, and I'm still skilled even without my armor. And Yosut speaks up. I'll go with him. Got some business up north myself.
You know, he doesn't have any armor.
He,
I take my chainmail out of the bag of holding.
I was about to say, can we take out the butter chain now? Or is someone wearing it?
Ooh,
I have an extra thing of chainmail that I'm not using anymore.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Why don't you use this? Any extra padding will help.
just takes it from you and looks at it. I'll get changed after you've left. So, like, leans back. It's you can see that he's still, like, you know, stretching his back out and such. You get the feeling he's been staying still for a long time. And what of you? Looks to the elf druid. I will continue on my pilgrimage. You have unfortunately spent a lot of my time, but I do wish you the best, and I hope the Wild Mother watches over you all.
Excuse me, little druid.
Yes?
With this pilgrimage, what do you have to do for it?
Oh, it's a sort of rite of passage where we find our true calling in the world. Those that go come back as warriors, as healers, as those who, do crafting and various things. It is a case of basically going to the various large druid clans, learning what they specialize in, and basically becoming part of that clan if the skills meet what you wish.
Then we may have an opportunity for you.
How so?
There's a forest to the west of Lesdor with a large isolated druidic clan in it. If you haven't been there yet, we could use your assistance.
The Dargrel clan is not part of the is not part of the pilgrimage.
So, your people don't even go there?
The Doggerel clan are... Some of the clans, the druid clans, are less open to individuals that are not druids themselves. But the Doggerel clan kill anybody, be it druid or otherwise, that comes within their forest.
Not very friendly.
I just think that it would be a good opportunity for you, and as you can see, we're very well versed. We could assist you.
That would just be an opportunity for a very quick death. I don't know if you've heard the tales that have been spoken, but a battalion of Johanian soldiers, over 1,000 troops, went into that forest, and hardly any came out. I am not going to that forest.
Maybe they
understand
liked it
that.
enough there to stay.
It's kind of hard to fight back against someone, against a clan that can control the entire surroundings against you.
Especially if the forest itself fights against you, which some of the clans have done.
Then I suppose we can't force you.
Why do you need to speak with the Doggerel clan anyway?
Oh,
We thought.
look to it.
Yes, Delson, you can say it better than me.
When I heard of them, despite their, despite the rumors of their more protective nature against anyone that is not druidic, or even among themselves, I thought that whatever archdruids they had there would have the wisdom to help me with helping one day potentially saving my sister.
Oh. She kind of like goes silent. Well, although it is the oldest clan, the Doggerel clan is not the only one with archdruids. All of our clans have them. There may be others around that you may be able to ask.
That would definitely be helpful.
I am just trying to... She pulls out a small pack and opens a small notebook and begins flicking through the pages. I have already gone to a few of the clans, but I do know of others which I do need to visit. There is the Bultras clan, which is near the Johanian city of Bultras. The Yvslonk Forest clan. Those are very... That might be difficult. They don't speak. They have taken a vow of silence. The Lagavas tribe, the protectors of the Elves' greatest mistake.
What?
Yeah, say that again, please.
Which part? The actual name of the tribe, or
Elves'
they do.
greatest
Biggest
mistake.
mistake.
The elf's greatest mistake. Okay, that's what you said. Interesting.
Where are they?
Are you asking this as Nemesis or as Peach?
Peach, because she just said where they were.
Well, Peach isn't the person that is standing there.
Delson will
Oh my god.
will ask about this. The greatest.
Did you know? Yeah, you just said where they were from, though. Right?
Yeah.
There is also the
Wait.
there's also the Frostfang clan, all the way up in the north. Those are the only ones I've visited so far. There's a few others, though I think I may be a bit delayed given the war.
Okay, since Tom demands this of me, where did you say the elves' greatest mistake was?
The Lagavas tribe. They protect the remnants of the Elven Kingdom. long after it has been destroyed, allowing nature to reclaim it and to defend against the terrible mistakes that were made during that final battle. They are in the place of the elves, the last place that holds an elven name from those times. Elgrulden home.
Okay, so that's near Elvengirl.
Yes.
Okay.
Though
Yeah,
I
I hope
must.
that you're writing this down, Delson. This is your thing.
And that was the other stuff that the other place that we were told to go. So it's probably
Yeah.
a better.
Though I
better
must warn you, while they are open to people approaching them, if you wish to find anything in there, they will expect a great price, a dangerous price.
What would that be? Is it specific?
It depends on what the Archdruid asks of you.
All right then. We're actually going to head towards Elvengirl soon.
Okay, the Frostfang. What other ones were there?
There was the one by Bulletros.
The
The
Bulletrosgran,
And then
the
one,
Yslanak Forest, but
which is actually by Exeter.
Exeter and Pterodon's Crossing, though
Yep.
she did point out that they, in particular, have taken a vow of silence.
But we've met centaurs there before.
Yes.
We are like friendly with them.
It wasn't so much you're friendly
the
with
only
them.
centaur we really I guess we
Okay.
know more than that.
Friendly,
Most
quote
of the
unquote.
most of the centaurs we know aren't exactly friendly.
Yeah. They're
Civil.
civil. They made it very clear that because you weren't harming the forest, so they let you through. And they made it very clear, don't fuck with the forest, or you get impaled like that bandit did when the fight first happened.
Yeah. All right. So we're making a list and we're checking it twice.
Raya is literally punch drunk all the time.
All right.
Also, as I say, the druids specialize in various craft. So, potentially, you might find a more newer tribe, like the Bulletros tribe. They specialize in botany, actually.
Botany is flowers?
Flowers and
Flowers
and
and
ensuring that the land is plentiful. Druids naturally have this ability, but they...
Agriculture.
Yes, kind of.
Nemesis, the rich person who's lived in human society.
Yes, well, actually, no. Tell me, do you know what a Trent is? Or an Ent?
I've heard of them before. but I've
Because
never seen them.
I've studied Sylvan and stuff. Would I know what that is?
I would say you have a vague idea of plants coming to life.
So, walking tree thing.
Yes, the Bulletros tribe specialize in growing and maintaining those kinds of things. That kind of botany, not just the simple art of growing trees. Druids can do that with their eyes closed.
I see them. And you said that you've already been to the one by Elvengirl?
It's on my to-go-to list. My clan is near Kiamph, so I went to the Yslonic Forest tribe first. I was making my way down south, not necessarily to Dargril, but nearer to a town called Marlon. There is a very small druid tribe there, though given news of the war, I may have to make a detour there.
Why don't you come with us? This could still work out. We don't have to go to Dargril, but we do have to go to Elvengirl.
No, we don't need one more, she says.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Because I suggested Dargril in the first place.
No, because this is essentially a teenage girl who is who is on a pilgrimage. I mean, I suppose I can, though I don't know if there's anything I could do to help.
Well, I was more concerned with it being, I suppose, safer for you.
While my name may be a representative of a cat, I can transform into more stuff than that. You understand, I should be perfectly safe.
Along with the fact that it's simply simpler if we head in the same direction, and you have seemingly quite a bit of information on it.
I don't have a whole lot of information beyond what I've just told you. It's rather common among druid circles, and I believe the people of Elvengrow also know that the druids there are simply protecting everyone from the horrors within.
Well, it's up to you. I should probably get these wounded to the carts.
She kind of like looks at the other, Rogan and his group. I'm not too comfortable in cities, but I suppose a few days rest more won't hurt.
We get an NPC. Dun-dun-dun. All right.
And Rogan kind of looks towards Nilit. How do you pronounce it? I'll get it eventually, but it's going to take me a few times.
Nilai.
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 Yeah.
Nilai.
And what about you, Nilai?
You see, as much as I liked helping you out, you didn't pay me anything. And I mean, I'd help you again, but this man right here, and he like looks at Valeth, says he has a wind crystal he's willing to trade me, maybe if I can get his friends to let loose on it. So
Nemesis just glaring at him.
Well,
So
if I hadn't paid you, then you can have this, and I just give it to you.
Oh my god.
he picks it up and he how tall is Valeth?
Taller than you.
A lot taller.
He is 8 foot 2 inches tall and weighs 400 pounds.
He looks at Valeth and he's like, you know, I like you quite a bit.
I like you as well.
I've assigned the wind crystal handout to yourself,
my
Shads,
God.
so now you can see.
Yeah, I should give it to him.
Oh, thank you.
You said you were
So-
6 feet?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nemesis taller than you two.
Yeah. She big.
Big.
I always have to like say that like to assert my dominance.
I am
don't
taller
get to
than
do
you.
it in
I am
real
taller,
life.
and then just keep yelling it at them over and over. I am taller than you. Like, please.
But he holds out his hands and he's like, trust me, I don't have any bad intentions. I may be a mercenary by
Can
trade.
I roll an insight check on him to see if he's telling me the truth?
Sure. That's 7. You have. He seems truthful.
Yeah. I like him because he's like kind of like me, and Valeth is like, oh, a kindred spirit.
You know, people who don't have bad intentions usually don't have to insist that they don't have bad intentions.
Wait, really?
Yeah, both of us are like confused by that.
No. I mean, I've been around a while as a mercenary, but you see, it's my company isn't together at the moment.
Really?
So-
How fascinating. I don't care. And Nemesis picks up Vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking of wine right now.
He like whispers to Valeth and he's like, you know, I'd probably like her a lot less, but I hear the sound of gold coins rattling in her head.
Yes,
I mean,
She does have that air about her. Also, and then I
That
just I
rich
don't speak.
air.
I use telepathy. I'm like, we don't have to whisper.
Milan looks around,
Gratian
and then
calls it.
he's incredibly upset. You see him he's like walking around as he's doing. You see him like blink back like maybe 4 feet. He just teleports. He's like, what? Who?
Valis, you did the thing again, didn't you?
What thing?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, I did.
As he does that, Nemesis looks slightly amused because she knows what's going on too, because Valeth does it so often.
Wait a second. Can you read my mind with that?
No, I can I can simply speak to you.
Is that some sort of... Well, I can't make anything that can do that. Are you putting your lips in my head?
No, my mind is sharing your mind. I can do something similar, but you have to sleep for that.
The look on his face is very disturbed, like a very disturbed smile. He's just yes, I see. I sleep. Well, I can do this. And do you have a small little item or something you can give me?
From basically out from an impossible angle from my sleeve, I pull out like a long sword and I hand it to you, and it's the Waker.
Is he about to do that thing that like Aang does with the little marbles?
Since it's basically like show and tell with magic tricks, I do a magic trick just to hand you my sword.
How'd you... Okay. Oh wait, I think I can do something like that. Wait. How heavy is this? he's like
It's
just a long sword. I think
it's a
like,
long sword.
5 pounds or something like that. A good long sword should be like
let
between
me
2 and 3.
let me just look at the item longsword. Longsword is £3.
Yeah,
That's right.
a good long sword should be 2 to 3 pounds.
He points at Valès with the longsword in his hand, and he goes and sucks it into his sleeve.
Oh my god!
Into your sleeve.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah. And then you know what Bullet does?
Oh
He reaches
no!
back into his sleeve and pulls the sword out.
Yep.
Wait, I check into the sleeve where I cast it in a wrist pocket. Is it not there?
It's not there.
Oh my god!
What?
As
Neat
they're
trick.
doing this, even though I take great amusement in it, Nemesis is just totally stone-faced, and
Yep.
she is just beginning to essentially take the injured out to like get moving because he and Valeth are fucking around right now.
I'll
You just
So
see
good.
that he's still like searching where like his wrist is. He's like,
It's really hard to
He's
take.
like, what?
What?
you
What?
got me with that.
What the fuck?
He's like, wow, that's impressive.
It's okay. It's a good trick.
Hey, my guy shakes his head and he reaches his hands out and he's like, well, a proper introduction, you can Nilaim Yahal. But my friends,
How do you actually spell that? Can you just like type it into chat somewhere?
I just
Yeah.
imagine Nihai Kaolan.
Hi.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, if I can just spell.
Bell.
Okay.
But he says to Valeth, well, my friends call me Nils.
Nils. Well, my name is Valeth. And he'll reach his big hand out for a handshake. And actually, it's not a handshake. It's like the arm grab thing, like the Goliaths would do.
I honestly need to dispel right now, dear child. Though, I do have
Sorry.
a question for Galeth.
Yes. What is it, Dilson?
Know how Miss Beeline mentioned that they may ask for a steep price in return?
Yes.
I may have a way to be prepared to know the gravity of what they may ask, but I will need your help.
What do you mean, Dilson? In what
To
way?
be short and to the point, we may need you some sending to speak with the most knowledgeable person about druidity that I currently know and know we can reach. My grandmother.
Very well, but I've never met your grandmother, Delson.
That is true.
We could attempt to communicate through her dreams, but at this point that's potentially dangerous.
I believe that would be impossible too.
Oh, really? Is she like me?
Have you ever seen a wood elf sleep?
Oh, yes, I suppose she would be an elf. So yes, no. Cannot speak to her, they do not dream.
Yeah. Well, it was an idea at least.
Though, yes, I unfortunately, if I have not met her, I cannot speak to her. I could think about it and maybe learn some new tricks, but that would require us to become stronger, I think. Right now I can't do anything.
Of course.
I just imagine Valeth like flexing as he says stronger.
Yeah, the whole thing. Get stronger, his pecs just like bounce for a second or two.
As you're all leaving as well, Rogan so speaks up. Nilai,
Ah, yes.
though you didn't do it for coin, I still thank you for protecting me and my comrades.
Nilai gets a serious look on his friend and on his face. Of course, I wouldn't do that just for money. If you're ever in need of help again, if I'm around, I'll help you out.
So nudge his head towards a group. Take care of him.
He gives like a small sigh and he's like, they seem like a pretty ragtag bunch, but you know, might be good business for me.
Considering the tall one, not the Goliath,
The other tall one.
the one I called Nemesis, given her
Oh,
heritage, and given her parents, might be quite a bit of business in it for you.
Well, I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Take care on your travels, Rogan.
I've survived worse than a journey to Groffield. And with that, he's like stands up and he hasn't even put the chainmail on yet. He just like slings it over his shoulder and just walks off along with Yossut. And you just watch as they fade into the forest.
Nilai's like just scratching his head. He's like, been a mercenary for how many years and I can't be that cool.
Oh, don't worry, you just gotta spend a few months just fighting against an overwhelmingly large army in a guerrilla war. That'll get you cool.
Yeah, like, Rogan's pretty fucking badass, man.
Street cred.
He's, no, don't worry. I don't
He
think
is
that's quite
he's
business I want.
the Rick Flag to our Suicide Squad.
Alright, so I guess we're gonna start heading out. I'm guessing that's a lot easier because Gratian can just follow our own tracks.
Yeah, it's a lot easier and a lot quicker. Partway through, so who's like, are you guys? So I know one of you's carrying Vineyard.
Which is me.
But what
I
about?
can also cast Tensor's floating disc. It might take us longer because I have to cast it every hour.
Yeah.
But it's another thing that we can carry up to 500 pounds on.
Yeah, I mean, it is starting to sort of like creep into the late afternoon at this point. But yeah, so like use the floating disc and is just sort of like sitting there. You can see he's still got
Yeah.
like the splint on and such, and you can see he's just still feeling it like blasted. But he seems to be frustrated at his little predicament, but he seems fine. Partway through carrying Nemesis, you hear Vinny go, what the fucking... Can you walk a bit softer? Jeez.
Hey, listen, this guy has a pretty good spot. Like, Nemesis carrying him bridal style. He's like all snuggled up in her chest. Like, come on, be grateful.
Vineyard is not grateful.
Ah.
You cannot make him grateful.
Yeah, so we continue, I guess.
All
Kind
right.
of quiet, and she just continues on.
Great, not talker, right? Okay. And you just watch he force himself a bit to like turn to the side and kind of goes to sleep again.
Like, Nemesis in her head is probably just like ungrateful ass.
Yeah. But eventually you make it out of the forest. Everything is still there, it seems.
Do we get molested on the road by weird things?
Well, you guys are just going through the forest, but it appears no.
What
Well, that's good.
is the state of our horses?
You can see, Knighton just kind of almost sunbathing, almost. He's just kind of like, like how horses, while they don't do it all the time, can lie on their sides. He's just doing
They
that.
look really silly when they do.
Yeah, he's just kind of like lying on his side, though you can see his tail like flick every now and then to show that he's just enjoying the sun. Milo's just like jumping on
Nem.
grass.
Nem just melts at that, and she's just like, "Aw, cute baby."
You can see that Hanel and Diorian are kind of standing on one of the taller hills, looking outward. You can see like their heads occasionally twitch as they're looking around.
Are they keeping watch?
It looks like it.
Oh my god, they're such good boys. I love them.
Best boys.
We've returned.
We've only seen one thing that seemed odd, but it didn't bother us.
And what was that? As I set Vineyard in the cart.
A metal flying contraption. Fairly large.
Like an airship?
It wasn't...
some sort of unidentifiable flying object.
Oh my god.
You can't hear her now.
Sorry.
I would say so, but it didn't look like any airship. Well, I've only seen one airship that I've ever seen.
Alright. Can you describe it as I'm kind of strapping everyone in again?
Well, it had the weird balloon thing that the airship that we went in had, but it was sleeker, smaller.
Is it a hot air balloon? Do hot air balloons exist right now?
They would.
They would. Could we still see it in the sky?
No. You ask,
Okay.
and it's like, it was about an hour or two ago.
Alright.
I thought I saw something bigger near it, but I couldn't get a good look.
Interesting. Alright. Well, if it didn't bother you, then hopefully it's relatively unimportant. What's UFO, for fuck's sake?
Alright.
We are going to head back to Lesdor.
At this point, they both came down the hill at this point. It's like, very well. Notices, like, the new additions. And who are these?
Well, to our injured folks that we're taking to Lestor to get more medical treatment. One is a money-grubbing whore, and and did the druid come with us?
She seems to be, but as she leaves the tree cover, you actually do watch that she sort of like gets a bit more meeker and sort of like begins to like tightly hold onto her staff for comfort.
Also, that was
And-
very rude, Nemesis. Fortune is right there.
She's speaking in celestial. Silence.
She's speaking telepathically in Celestial.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep saying things, but
It's
I
fine.
keep saying
But,
stuff. It's funny.
It's always funny.
But and the other is a druid on her pilgrimage. She's going to be assisting us when we go to Elvengrow.
We're going all the way over there.
Not for a few days, but soon, yes.
I'm more worried about... Wouldn't we have to go past Ulmundau again?
I'd rather not. I would like to maybe cut through the mountains on the other side.
Very well. And
Because we have a map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
We have a map in game that has the mountains, and then there's a river over there that hopefully we can travel with our boat, which is surprisingly useful.
I'm
I did not think it was going to be, but
Yeah, I'm half thinking you planned that.
Yeah, you keep forgetting we have a boat.
no,
Wait, we have a boat.
I thought like while we were getting this thing, like this thing is going to be completely useless. We spent all this money on it. And then I actually thought about like the possibilities of like just cutting through like rivers and stuff. And I was like, oh shit.
The best impulse purchase from Fortune ever.
Yeah, that was actually really effective. All right.
Okay.
So,
All right.
We
So
are
you
gonna-
load the wounded onto the cart. Feline is just kind of. She is following, but she's again like she's just kind of like nervous at this point.
come on now, little one.
She just kind of like nods and meekly climbs onto the cart.
What is that?
Trust me, if anything were to happen, I'll just bash whatever issues in the head.
She just nods. Oh, that reminds me. That probably didn't mention that. Nilai, you see a horse that appears to be somewhat changing its colour, a large elk, another horse that's sunbathing, and a donkey.
And a keg.
That real nervous laugh was the nervous laugh he actually made as he like
Yeah.
walked into this clearing and saw it.
And then the one that's been mean to you seemed to just walk up and have a conversation with one of
Yeah,
it.
with this shimmering celestial horse.
Nilai like furrows his brows and he pats the top of the little floating lockbox. He's like, it's okay, bud.
Oh my god.
The little lockbox just flutters in place slightly rapidly before it starts doing a circle, or before it starts circling around you again.
Nemesis looks over at Nilai with, her stereotypical just arms crossed. Well, are you getting on?
Yes. he looks around.
They're in gawk.
Sort of. Have you seen what's in this place?
I mean, I've been with this group for months. I've seen much more interesting things. Get in.
He just climbs in and sits down. He like crosses his arms. He's like pouting in the corner.
Alright. So everyone's gonna try to like get in, or someone can sit up front with me with the horses.
Feline actually does speak up. How long are we intending to travel?
Well, it's a day's travel, and it's already getting later into the day. We'll probably stop to rest for the night in a few hours and store from there.
If that's the case, then I think I know a way to hopefully not take up too much space. And you watch as her form shifts. Like the staff just vanishes and she shifts, and you watch where she was sitting is now a small little hummingbird.
That's cute.
This one, not like you've seen
Nice.
hummingbirds that are a lot of a brighter color. This one is like, it looks like, like a robin almost. Brown. It's got brown feathers as opposed to like a blueback one. And it just like flies up and sort of like lands on Hanel's back.
Oh. Oh. I've not seen
Yes,
a
Delphin,
druid
we know.
in a
It's
long
very,
time.
very impressive.
For her, especially for her age.
Delphin, get in the cart.
Nemesis,
Nemesis is not having it with Delphin. Not
You
having it
do
with
realize-
anyone lately. Like,
as
Nilla,
Delphin's
like,
literally just sitting on Diorian, just looking at her. Like,
Nilla, like,
Mhm.
looks
oh
Look
yes,
at
that's
head
right.
out
Yes.
of the side. Can I make something here?
What are you trying to make?
Make something.
I want to make one of my little cannons.
Oh, one of your little constructs.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I'd say you can do that. It might take you a little bit of time, but you can do it.
Yeah, I make one of the little protector cannons, and I just sit in the back of the cart.
Oh my god.
So,
Alright, so everyone
like the
else
legless
can
version
jump
or the
in.
one with legs?
This one is just a legless version.
Okay.
It just sits there.
All right. So you
Shoot
see,
out the back of the cart.
yeah. So you see he takes out like in one of the bags. He like starts crafting some of the stuff together, and within about a minute or two, you see essentially what looks like a cannon, just so like that. And you watch it so like rotates by itself.
Interesting.
What is that?
He's like gestures for her to come closer.
Nemesis does not move.
All right, he kind of scratches his head and he looks at Valid and he gestures for her to come.
Nemesis refuses.
But yeah, Velas is just staring, watching.
Is he 10 feet from the cannon?
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're on the cart.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all on the cart. Okay, you don't have a say.
Oh my god.
Like Nemesis
Yeah.
like in the driver's seat, and so you're like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
It's like you're the person who's driving. You're like, "Hey, look back here! Look at this thing!" She's like, "Fuck off!"
Yeah.
The cannon like emits like it shoots, but it like is like a big sphere thing. But it's a burst of like energy, and it just makes everybody like feel good.
So you kind of like watch. So like, do you activate it or?
Yeah, I'll turn it on while we're driving.
Yeah. So you watch, see like presses a button, and you watch as like the can like stop moving, point directly upwards, and it blasts what initially it looks like almost like just a powder, but as it seems to impact something at the middle area and sort of forms a somewhat translucid, almost like dome around it.
Neat.
Yes. And we also get temporary hit points. In case someone throws something ridiculous at us while we're sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
Well, the
I
temporary hit
guess
points
we're
won't
going
apply to the
to-
others, so.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't stack.
Aw.
We could have inspiring leader hit points, or like you could do that in the middle of a fight though, right? Like that will give
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
health in the middle of a fight, whereas it takes 10 minutes to get the
Yeah.
inspiring leader ones.
Alright, so we're gonna start moving then.
All right. So, are you going at just your regular pace?
I think so. We're not in a rush anymore.
Yeah. Plus, we know where we're going, so it would be slightly faster, anyways.
All right. Still will need to make a survival check because you are just going through flat land.
And I'm guessing animal handling.
I would probably say no, honestly. Like, Hanel
Okay.
himself and Knighton is...
You get advantage still, Gratian.
Yep. Well, no, it's
Progress
plus
with
4.
Oh wait, no,
And
you're right.
then-
Not advantage.
And a
you're right.
perception,
Plus
yeah.
4.
Whoever wants to do the perception check.
I'll do it because
Hello.
nobody said anything. Haha.
Oh, there we go.
Fortune did it.
Fortune did it. Fortune, are you okay? Did your mic break, or are you muted?
I'm here.
Okay, just checking.
Yep.
Okay. So, that pothole that you narrowly avoided,
Boom!
you land in it, but thankfully, because you weren't going at such a high speed, all that happens is you get stuck for a few minutes.
Yeah, Volith can. Between Volith and Nemesis, we can move the car.
And Trofnar, yeah. Like
Lift
the,
it with our big muscles.
yeah, like the three of you together just sort of like lift it alongside.
Also, if push comes to shove, I can move 1,000 pounds.
Give
With my
everyone
mind.
some big buff fan service.
Yeah.
Both ends
Yeah,
of the
we
spectrum.
definitely. We definitely get. Yeah, it's like actually really inclusive fan service.
Yeah.
Just Trofnar is all like pudgy and hairy, and then we've got like super jacked Nemesis, and then it's just like super hot Volith. He's like the least. He's the least inclusive one because he's just like that's just like a really hot guy. What's that?
Yeah.
No.
In case it's ever needed to, for even more inclusive-ness, big monkey.
Big
Oh my
monkey.
God.
I could have
Anyway.
helped a little by levitating a bit of
Yep.
500 pounds off of it, but he didn't do that. He was just watching the
He just watches everybody.
Yep.
Nemesis will remember that.
Yeah, she doesn't know what I can do.
She's gonna find out. Alright. So we get delayed a little bit, and I guess
Yep.
we head back on.
Yep, you continue going through. At one point, Feline does, like, you watch as she sort of, like... I mean, she's sort of, like, been alternating between, like, just standing on Hanel in her hummingbird form and just, like, sort of, like, flying around nearby. You do watch at one point she does, sort of, like, land on the ground, turns back into her human form, and then quickly turns back into the hummingbird again before she continues flying.
I'm guessing she had to refresh it.
You assume. You're not too sure because you haven't met a druid.
Yeah.
I love that we met a druid and then Tick is like, guess what? Lore drop. We're like,
It's lore drop. It's lore drops because you ask the questions, which results in the lore drops.
Yeah, it's great.
I live for this kind of shit.
Alright.
All right.
We're
So,
gonna go ahead and continue on, I guess, until we have to stop again.
yeah. So yeah, you do have to stop eventually. The night comes, and you set up camp.
Alright. I'll go ahead and take first watch this time, just because I don't trust this fucker. And I'm guessing Velas is with me.
Yep.
Alright.
So everyone else is basically sleeping. Feline is, you can see, is just kind of like sitting there meditating. Definitely is not asleep, but it's just meditating.
Yeah.
Spend all my time staring at Neli instead of actually focusing on anything else.
Wow.
Yep.
You just watch him turn around in his sleep.
Volith is definitely carving stuff, and he's carving a figurine of him. Just being really creepy.
Velas collection of voodoo dolls.
All right. So, if that's the case,
That is exactly what they look like, Gratian. They're that level of detail.
yeah. Okay, I need to just.
They're more angular and abstract.
Angular Funkos. Oh, I
So-
gotta restart.
As you're kind of just focusing, you. Actually, you won't even hear it because you rolled an 8. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Sounds
So, yeah.
about right.
so that bit ends.
Alright,
And.
and then I guess someone else is gonna go
Yep.
deal with the consequences of my actions.
Okay, Creation's doing that. At this point as well, Feline like finishes meditating, and she's going to do a check of her own. Nope.
This is why I was going to volunteer to go.
Well, too late. That's a 12. All right. So you kind of sit and keep an eye out. Nothing seems to happen during that part of the night. And so your part of the shift ends. Now, who's taking the final shift?
I'll take the final shift, and
I shall
Because I have
offer
my spells back.
assistance.
yeah, since I have my spells back, I will also take the form of the giant owl.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it has better perception than me,
True.
and better dark vision.
I was gonna say, it's like, I don't know why, but my brain was like, I gotta say, yeah, it does have dark. It's a lot more dark vision. Jeez.
Yes.
They've got big old eyes.
Fucking
Look,
owls.
look with your special eyes.
My brand.
I will roll with advantage, and it will be a +1
Okay.
to whatever.
Double advantage.
There we go.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so you end up actually seeing that there has been something taken from the carts.
Again.
What is it?
What is it?
It is, well, what items do you keep in the cart, first and foremost? I know you keep the food there.
The keg.
The keg, alright.
Mhm.
Is that it?
Like.
And the hunting traps. But
Be like-
otherwise, we tend to
I have
keep
like
everything else
a
in the bag of
miner's
holding.
pick that I wouldn't like carry on me. That would just be sitting in there. Like my backpack would be in there with
The
me.
Shadow's cannon gets stolen. That'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
Would be.
I don't think it I think it only lasts an hour.
It does not last that long. It's just like a hungry.
Yeah, I think it only lasts like an hour. Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, we tend to keep everything in the bags of holding, and the bags of holding are typically on Delson or Nemesis.
My
Yeah.
cabbages.
So the hunting traps are gone,
Great. Okay.
and so is the bag of
Hunting
apples.
Okay, well now that's where the line is drawn.
Just sad owl noise.
Do we? Delson is the one who notices this, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything on the ground like footprints?
Make a survival
or
check.
markings? Okay, let's see what giant owls stats are, and my own survival. Okay, so this goes by wisdom, so
D20 plus your owl's wisdom.
which this is actually worse than Elson's normal.
16. You do spot some tracks. Little, like, humanoid-shaped tracks.
I will fly after the tracks.
Well, keep in mind, if you fly, you'll be too high to actually see the tracks.
Fair enough.
This is
Also-
not like tank treads or the wake of a ship. This is little, tiny, little feet.
Someone pushed the cannon out.
I will slowly follow the tracks.
Alright, so you leave the party to follow the tracks.
Daddy, like, well, yeah, I guess he's polymorphed, and he's polymorphed. He's not like shape change, which
No.
means he has like the
He has-
intelligence of a giant owl too.
Yeah, which... Let me look at the stats of the giant owl, just for the hell of it. Just for shits and giggles. Oh, an intelligence of 8.
I mean, that's smarter than most animals.
Yeah, but
so
that's
he-
still a minus
He's got
1 on
decent
it.
wisdom for all that, but yeah, you just sort of like wandered off because he's an owl.
Yep.
He's about
They
as smart
also-
as Fortune.
Apparently, there's a giant owl is a language is that they have. He can
Yes.
speak giant owl.
So you can see... So you follow through the tracks best you can, being an owl. As you keep going, you occasionally run into some apples that have been like completely eaten to the cores. Like one here, there's like one a few feet away and such. Do you keep following?
Yes.
All right. The rest of you wake up from the long rest with no sign of Delson.
Of course he's not here. Valeth,
Yes.
where is Delson?
Oh, did I notice him?
Make a perception check.
Sure.
Nope.
I'm not sure. He was hooting around here somewhere, and then I'm not sure where he went.
So you don't know where he went.
I could ask him.
Can he even understand you at that time?
I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to many giant owls.
I would say, though, that at this point...
Holding off lasts for an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It would have definitely ran out of that
Okay.
partway through.
Okay,
Wait,
then yeah.
is he in the sky?
No.
No.
No, because he doesn't. He's not actually an owl right now. I think like
No,
maybe the
I'm
la- the-
saying when it ran out.
He said he was going to, but then I pointed out that he's trying to follow tiny little humanoid tracks. He would not be able to see that. He would not be able to see, because owls can spot prey from a high distance. They can't necessarily spot tracks from high distance.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I could ask him. I'll just cast sending. Delson, where have you gone? That's it.
Been following these tracks. Something stole things from the cart.
Apparently he's following some tracks. Or something was stolen from the cart. And I think I look around and I'm like, oh yeah, the apples are gone. And didn't we have some traps here?
Again?
Yes, there's something else here.
Can I check the cart to see if there's any more of that dust?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Okay. Invest. Nemesis.
Nice.
Doesn't look like it.
Chug, chug, chug.
Yeah.
Well. I guess
Well?
we should just wait for Delson to return? We could pursue him.
We don't even know where he is. I think... Fine, we'll wait an hour or so, and then, if worst comes to worst, we will search for him.
Very well.
All right. About 45 minutes later, Delson returns.
Did I find anything?
Nope.
Yeah.
You just found more and more apples.
Join us?
The last thing that you found was the bag that the apples were in. Completely empty.
So bad news is, I did not find what did it. Nor did I find our traps.
Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Well, perhaps tomorrow night I will keep an eye out.
I should probably do so too in that form.
By tomorrow, we'll
We'll
be
be
at
back in
Lesdor.
Lesdor. Oh, then yes. Who knows? I don't have anything to track this sort of thing, so can't really help.
I have no idea what it was, other than it had small feet.
Well, at least it only took hunting traps and some apples, which I don't know why any creature would want hunting traps.
Feline
But-
speaks up. Feline speaks up at that one. You said little feet?
Yes, I was beginning to suspect it's not one of the creatures we normally would see
Oh,
about.
it might be red caps.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What?
Red caps.
Red caps or one of
Rude.
one of those offspring.
You can literally just see Delson's face shift into a cringe.
Nilai just kind of scratches his head.
Red caps are creatures originally from the Feywild, though some of them find purchase here. They're usually bloodthirsty, but the natural ones here are more tamer. Oftentimes they just take what they need, or what might be useful to them.
So, you're saying if this were any other version, they'd be trying to swipe one of us in the night?
If we were in the Feywild, yes. At least that's what I've been told.
That's wonderfully
See
unpleasant.
that someone has been listening to me babble.
Or maybe a certain dungeon master has had stuff about the Feywild already written up for literal years.
It's really funny. Like,
It's a
me and
real
Dom were
big
just talking
coincidence, I
about
know.
this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, but don't forget it. But don't forget as well, druids deal a lot
Yeah.
with Fey creatures.
Alright, so
Definitely a lot nicer and more tolerable than the Nausean ones.
I mean, what did you guys lose overnight?
Some apples and some traps.
Yeah,
Nothing
those
substantial.
the apples are easily replaceable.
They seem to be infinite, really.
Well,
no,
they
we
they,
took our
those-
chalk or something.
It's
they,
like,
they normally
we
take
have the bag. It's full again. We're not sure. It's just always full of apples.
they normally only take the stuff that they need to survive. So, hunting parties, they sneak in and take the leather or the the game that they've hunted. In your case, they probably saw the hunting traps and thought that as a way for them to get more food. And the apples it's food.
I quite like that.
At least I gathered some seeds to plant at our place once it's finished being built.
Well, since you're back, we should hurry on. We've wasted enough time.
I
Yes,
agree,
let's
and I'm
continue.
sorry.
Alright.
All right.
We're gonna push forward.
Yep. So again, survival and perception.
I'll do the perception this time.
All right.
I was counting. I every time that happens, I count and wait for one of you guys to talk. And if no one says anything, I do the perception check.
Oh, can I do it?
Sure, if you want to.
No, he already did it.
Okay. I mean, you can do a survival check if you want.
That.
Very detective.
Let him have a roll.
Uh,
Let the newcomer have his first roll.
Yep, the
Creation
creation
is
is
tired.
nap time.
Here we go, Chad. Your first roll in the campaign.
Better be good. Better be good or
survive.
we'll kill you.
13. Okay, that's
This is
so.
like an 8
Yeah.
on the dice.
Yep. Feline kind of speaks up. Are you saying we'll be at the city by tonight?
We should be, yes.
I'll stay in the cart then. Just kind of climbs into the cart.
Anyone thinks we should, I don't know, pull up some handfuls of grass for her or something? I don't really. No, she doesn't seem to like the city very much.
I'll stay back.
That's nice.
Many of the culture are not fans of cities, especially more industrial ones.
I see. Is there any reason for that?
Well, the industrial ones specifically, because of the large amount of natural resources they take in, and then amount of pollutants that can come out in the air and be dumped back into the water, which goes into the ground itself.
Nilai scratches his head and he's like, I see. Well, thanks for the information. Might keep me from getting sticked by a druid at some point in the future.
You hear a voice speak up from Vineyard. Has anyone got a cloak or a sack or something? Yeah, you can see at this point, like, he still looks a bit pale, but he looks a lot better now.
I've got a sack you can use.
Pass it here.
Give him the sack.
All right, he takes a sack and you watch he just like takes out one of his sacks and just like cuts into it. He sort of like pulls it up over his wounded arm. There we go.
Oh.
Don't want people asking questions.
I could have bandaged that up, you know.
That's fine.
Right.
Don't worry, this guy's been a tough one.
Alright.
You ever had your arm nearly bitten off by one of those big old beasts that they got? You come back to me and then tell me.
Well, I have been impaled multiple times. Had to perform self-surgery to remove this weird thing implanted in me by a big
God, I
old
hated
wand.
that.
And also did feel the breath of a dragon.
That's great, Sunshine. I dealt with armies and had to kill them stealthily.
That's rough, buddy.
Pretty much.
That's rough, buddy.
Nilai scratches his head and is like, I see you two been been through a lot, but we don't have to compare. I'm sure there's more than enough danger and bloodshed for the rest of us.
Yeah, besides, I'd win.
It's not a competition, but I'd totally win.
Oh my God.
Ree speaks up and it's like,
That's funny.
you hear Ree speak up and say, I mean, I was a prisoner in the Gilgamesh Horde. Don't that count for something?
I mean, I faced a little bit of them. Most of my cannons. I don't really like doing the close-up thing.
Show of hands, who's died?
Alright, this is... Alright, can we stop this impromptu dick measure?
Yeah, and Nemacy's just ignoring this conversation as she just
Yeah.
moves.
I'm
on.
assuming this is continuing on, like...
Yeah, we're just bullshitting.
Yeah, I'm assuming this conversation is continuing on as a moving. So, alright,
Yeah.
so it does take a little bit longer, because unfortunately, Nilai's survival was fairly low. It's a wide open plain, but thankfully the DC was lower because you are going for a route that most of you have traversed already.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, as the sun's beginning to set, you arrive at the entrance to Lesdor. As you're all like kind of, making your way in, Nemesis, you feel something on your shoulder, and as you kind of like look at your shoulder, you can see a small black cat just kind of like looking ahead of you. The rest of you watched as feline sort of like as you approach sort of a form shift into this black cat.
I've balanced cats on my shoulders before, so I don't know if you guys have ever, but it's a very like tense balancing act. Or you just kind of like
unless
look
the cats
at the cat,
are
like,
like
what the hell?
certain kinds of cats, because then they'll just do it by themselves that are like comfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
she's
buffets.
not like on your shoulder. She's got like your front paws on your shoulder. But,
Okay.
but the back paws are on like the backrest part.
Because I was thinking she was like actually on my shoulder.
No, she is.
Okay.
She's just got her front paws on your shoulder, and her back paws are just resting because she's just. As you make your way into Lesdor.
Cat.
Are you curious? That's really cute. I'm gonna give her a pet. This is my new friend. Alright, then I mean I feel like we should take these guys to like if there's like a med bay of any sort.
Yeah, because they're like military, dude. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is an infirmary, but like as you
That
mentioned.
is a good point. Like one of these guys was a prisoner of war. We need to take them like to the barracks.
Yeah. But as you kind of like let through, do you like say this openly or?
No. No, I don't want to cause a fuss.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and just... I guess we drop Hanel and everyone in the cart off. And then we'll take Vineyard and the other person that I can't remember.
Ree.
Ree?
Yep, spell
Ree.
R-Y-H.
Okay. Yeah, Ree. And we will take them to the barrack.
Alright. Okay. So, you take everyone to the barracks. I assume you cover up Ree a bit since he's in rags.
Yeah.
At this point now, Feline is sort of like perched on your shoulder.
Yeah, she can go ahead and stay there, or she can be in my arms or whatever.
Yeah, she just seems
Like-
happy just standing on your shoulder, just sort of like on your shoulder. Which she's not.
Nemesis is so tense, she does not want to drop her.
All right. So, you make your way to the barracks, and as you arrive, you kind of like look around, and it's it's interesting. Vineyard's not with you guys anymore.
What?
The fucking Sneeferblin guy?
Yeah.
Or no, he was a rock gnome.
No. The rock gnome Ree is still there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The Vineyard, the halfling, isn't there.
Can we see him anywhere, or is he just gone?
It looks like, and hazard a guess, it looks like he might have snuck away from you.
Shit. Alright.
Because you weren't actively looking. If he rolled a stealth check and it was above any of your passive perceptions,
Sorry.
he would have gone away.
Then... Alright, you two, or I guess you three, look for Vineyard, and I'll take Ree over to the med bay.
Understood.
All right.
Alright,
All right.
so we're gonna
which of us-
separate.
Which of us
Yeah.
is searching?
I'm helping the search.
Everyone except for Nemesis taking Ree to
Okay.
the med bay.
Yeah, so if that's the case, if you're all doing that, all of you make separate investigation checks.
Aye, aye.
It's time.
Those of you, everybody here, actually put your.
Well,
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I won't do that. Investigation.
Crack team of detectives.
Yep. Exactly, a crack
Well.
team. All right.
No.
all right. So, you can't begin to spread out throughout the city. Val, if for whatever reason, one of the first places you decide to... Oh, yeah. Fortune, make an investigation check as well. Because you're also part of team finding Vinny. Okay.
Nice.
So, Valif, your first place to check, for whatever reason, is Fortune's house. You can't just knock on the door, and like right as you hear the door begin to open, you just kind of realize where you are and what you're meant to be doing. But Arthur opens the door and says, "Oh, hey, Valif, was it?
Yes.
Ooh, how can I help you? Have you seen Katie?"
Yes, she was just behind me. Actually, I'm not sure where she went.
You
We're
seem
looking
like
for
very,
someone,
you seem like very quick, like stick his head out. Well,
Hi, Dad.
Oh yeah, you are.
Fortune.
Just kind of looks back. Your mother's been absolutely worried sick after what Madam Melody told me what happened to you.
To be
Shoot.
fair, you told me don't do anything that you wouldn't do.
Now I need to ask myself if I would have stared into a orb I knew nothing about. Actually, no, I would have.
Yeah, I know you would have.
Yes,
That's-
both of us were out for a whole day apparently.
All I'm going
It
to
was-
say, all I'm going to say is, your mother is going to be very upset. Hey, you said you were looking for someone, Vedith.
Yes, halfling. I thought perhaps they came here, and then I realized that wasn't a very smart thing to do.
I have
That
no
doesn't make
idea
any
why
sense.
they'd be.
And now
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry, and so are you making
Oh,
food? And then I think
yes.
Vala just goes inside.
Would you like to? Yes, yes, yes. Do you want to come in too, Casey?
Could you repeat what you said? It kind of cut out.
Do you want to come in as well, Katie?
Yes.
Oui. Just kind of lets you through
Yelled at by your mom.
and close to the door. It wasn't so much yelling, but there is a lot of hugging and crying, and saying, "Oh, don't do that again! You scared me so much."
Yeah, and there's a lot of like Vala saying things that are not reassuring at all. That are like, it's perfectly fine. I was there. We were both being sucked into infinity or something. You know?
Valeri is just. It appears that Valeri is not listening to you.
Yeah.
But Arthur's like, "Ooh, wow, like he's like somewhat interested." So
While we're
does
still here, can I just like tap Mom on the shoulder? There's more information I have yet to tell you guys.
oh no, what now?
Let's see. There are candles around, yes?
Yep.
Oh no.
I would like to snuff out one of the candles.
Officer, you can just see Officer says like, "Huh, wigging."
I'm magic.
That's wow. Huh. That's where we'll end it for that part, but we'll continue on with the other bits. Gracian and Delson, you guys will end up in the same bit where what to call it? Where I'll eventually you'll get in my head. Nilai. You decide to you're a very methodical person, so you decide to start with the most obvious choice of the various inns. You ask around and eventually narrow down the 3 inns that are there. You have the choice. I'll let you choose which one you want to go in first. You've got either Tall Calls, the Gambler's Drink, or Distant Stars.
I'll go to the Gambler's Drink.
And what about you, Nils?
Distant stars.
Distant Stars, okay. So you go to the Distant Stars. No vineyard. And because you've rolled so much higher than their investigation, I'll say you'll be able to check a different one that, that they might not have gone to yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Where are you going, Grayson?
yeah, Grayson, which one are you going to? Because there's Tall Calls and there's the Gambler's Drink.
I'm going to get Gamblers. Tall Calls. Tall Call. Tarcall.
No, Tall Calls. Not coals, calls.
Yeah, stands for us Englishmen.
But
Sorry.
it's no call. Tall's calls.
Yeah, so Nils, which other one are you going to then?
The other one between those. Okay. Probably tall calls.
I think Anna had to go. Yep, she gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Gratian, which one do you go to? Oh, so you gotta go to Toll's Calls. Alright. So, my brain just blanked on the name for some reason. Delson. You head into the Gambler's Drink, searching for Vineyard. No sign of him. Gratian and Nils, you both arrive at Toll's Calls. Now, Toll's Calls, it appears to be like a small, like, tower keep. Like ones which guards would be stationed in. But it's been converted into a bar. It sort of goes a little bit above to the top of the walls. And as you go in, it's a bit cramped, it's a bit dingy. There looks to be... It looks almost like they just slapped a sign on and called it good, essentially, outside of the counter that's on there. But The proprietor himself, interesting individual because you can clearly see he's a changeling. But
I see.
as you but you kind of like look around and you can see, so like in the corner, a familiar shape of a halfling, just kind of like sipping a beer.
Oh, all right. I guess we do walk over to him, right?
Yep.
Wait, is Gratian within range of our communications?
No.
Damn it.
I was just there, just drinking some ale. As you sort of like come up to him. All right.
And Nilai raises an eyebrow. Where are you slinking off to? We're searching the entire town for you.
You didn't have to.
Well, I see that now, but we're worried something might have happened to you. You are a sneaky sort.
Yeah, it's almost like it was my job.
You bring up a good point, but don't you have to return to the barracks?
The thing is that my particular division in the Jurhanian military ain't exactly official.
I see one of these other undercover operatives.
In a way. My job was to scout out the Gilgamesh hordes. If any threats showed up, I was one of the group that killed them. The only places where they know of me is Delcras and Yalmord, and neither of them are exactly a good choice right now.
Well, I mean, you have to get your orders from something. What are you doing? Waiting for a letter?
I'm just gonna wait for Rogan, basically.
Had out of a job. I agree. Oh, me too.
He sort of like glares at you slightly. There's plenty of jobs here, trust me.
Well, for someone of your skill set, I don't think that's a problem at all.
Nah, it isn't. But I already got my plan. Gonna chill here for a few days, recover up, and then make my way back to Rogan.
Why didn't you go on with him in the first place?
So like points to his pale complexion and sort of like shifts the sack that you gave him, showing his wounded arm. Not exactly in a state, am I?
Well, you sure you don't want to get some more attention so you can head over even quicker?
Nah, I'll be fine.
You just really want to come to town to drink, huh?
Yeah, just gotta work off the last of the fever. The arm's fine. Just gotta get new armor.
You have enough to put that in order?
I may have been a guerrilla fighter, but I weren't broke, mate.
Haha, I was technically both. And he pulls out his pockets.
Yeah.
Well,
Looks like you need to find some better clients then.
yeah, I hear you. Well, I guess if there's no problem here, I guess me and my friend can leave you be, I suppose. I think finding you the second time is going to be much harder. So
Probably not. But, tell the big one I said thanks and don't worry about me.
alright, well, she's probably going to be mad. Seems to be what she's good at.
I do not care.
He gives like
Excuse me.
he gives like a complacent smile of someone who knows that their boss is gonna yell at them.
Yeah,
He's
God.
like,
Vineyard definitely has a I do not give a fuck face on.
oh, all right, well, take care, Vineyard. You know where we are. I think.
So Gratian, you place a little sack of gold. He like places it down, takes out 3 gold pieces, and then throws the rest of it back to you.
Can I Can I have like telepathically tell my little lockbox to snap it up while it's
Oh
moving?
my god.
Sleight of hand check, the two of you. Or your lockbox versus Gratian's.
Hey, okay. I think I don't know what is my lockbox.
It's a homunculus, ain't it?
Yes.
So you use the stats for the homunculus.
See, I'm thinking
Or the
of,
homunculus
like, a
servant,
mechanical
even.
mimic.
Yeah, it's a homunculus servant. So it has a. So it is not proficient in sleight of hand.
Makes sense.
So it is just a d20 plus its dex modifier, which is a 2.
D20 plus 2. Okay.
Yes, this is to see who grabs it first. Oh! Yeah, no, you just watched it like dive bombs towards it. You just see Gracia like snatch it out of the hand, and you just watch as a homunculus just flies past and then ding into the wall and falls down for a few seconds before it flaps back up.
He's Nilai out loud says, "Doc, come on, don't do that." And he's like, "Good try." Telepathically, like, "Good try."
All right, so with the evening drawing to a close, that's what we're going to call it for this session.
Yay.
Welcome to the party, Shadow.
Yay.
That was fun.
What do you think?
That was cool.